All right, we're back to Gears of Vengeance, which we haven't played in about a month, just because of vacations and dates not working out or aligning. So that's all right, though. As a recap, though, the last time we played, and a little bit of the time before that, you guys had left Tanovar on en route to Arken Falls and the Arkenwood near there, so that you could find some herbs for a person named Kalani inside of the an herbalist or something of that nature in the camps, the mining camps that kind of sit around Tanovar. You know, they kind of grow and contract depending on how much there's a need of mining, but because there's so much mining going on, those camps have grown to a certain point where there's a kind of a warren's nest of odds and ends kind of built up, similar to sort of the slums of Rio de Janeiro or something like that. And so you've taken on this job for Kalani to get herbs because there is some kind of whooping cough or pneumonia or something going through the camp, and she used to use bitter root or marga to help cure this. So you went and checked the initial herbalist that was in Tanovar, thinking maybe they had some. They did not, and that particular herbalist also asked for you guys to get a few things, specifically. Let me see here real quick. Specifically, belladonna, larnerma, and white bryony. So as an additional thing that was also not coming from there. Taking a barge across Lake Diaril, you made it to Arken Falls in 1 day, as opposed to walking around via the Diaril Road, which would have taken you 2 days. You spent a little bit of time. You actually, at the same time as you were making that passage, there was a massive crate on this barge that seemed to pique your interest a little bit. And so after getting settled in Arken Falls, a couple of you dressed out, holy cow, campaign problems. Sealgair and Andal went back down to the docks to see what happened with it. Andal broke into the warehouse and broke into the crate, finding some strange device that looked like part spider, part clockwork machine. But in addition to that, he also found what amounted to like a map tube that he absconded with, and once he was discovered, kind of ran off. You guys looked that over. It turned out to be some blueprints for a couple devices, basically a couple clockwork drones of some sort, and a message. The message saying following again. Let me find that real quick. Mikhail, I hope this present finds you well. I finally solved the distance problem, and this new version of the Widow now has much greater range. See to it that this prototype makes it to our mutual benefactor. They should be pleased. Signed S. And that was all you had. There was a sort of a seal on that letter that you were able to get off that had a particular symbol on it. The symbol of looks to be an eye. But the pupil of the eye looks to be engraved as if it was a crystal, so like a crystal eye. Nobody knew what that meant, but you got it off, read the message, kind of put it back on with some forgery and a few things like that, and then took the thing back where Andal was chased after because he was unable to sneak around enough to drop off the part and get it back in because there was an investigation going on. In the meanwhile, the rest of you, the other two, had found out from some locals that there was something odd going on in the Arkenwood, and following Celeste, who was the person who was where you guys were staying, following her down to the Thirsty Wench, you talked with a man called Rasputin, a woodsman called Rasputin, who told you a tale of strange, misty-looking, ghost-like creatures that would come out of the mist and attack people that went too far into the wood. He agreed to take you there in the morning, and in that morning, while Andal was trying to drop stuff off, you guys met him outside the Thirsty Wench. Andal eventually showed up with you guys, and you went into the Arkenwood. While in the Arkenwood, you had no real problems for the first hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, getting into there. You actually found some bitter root, some amarga on the banks of what looked like it was probably a dry run that occasionally during, snowstorms, during storms and things would fill up with water and then dry up between them. So you actually have probably like about a dozen roots of bitter root already. But it was about a little bit after that when it's sure as Rasputin had said, some strange ghost-like creatures started attacking you in the woods, and it didn't take you very long to figure out that that was some kind of illusion going on. And when that happened, the true perpetrators sort of revealed themselves in the sense that you started hearing little small chuckles and small little. Actually, one of you guys fell asleep. In fact, that would be Silva fell asleep from some kind of magical attack on you. That's kind of where we'll pick back up. I will mention as I kind of bring us into this particular thing that I did screw something up with these particular creatures last time. And so the one that you had detected, Sealgair, which was right here. Oops, I haven't activated it. I'm so sorry. Activate. That particular one that you had detected, actually, whoever hit him, I think it was Andal, it becomes visible and falls to the ground and seems to, with Andal's arrow stuck out of it as it hits the ground. It's either an arrow or a short sword. That was a short sword. So you struck something, it fell to the ground, and then you moved away. So that creature is deceased, or at least it's on the ground unconscious. So that's the only one you were able to see initially. There are more of them about, and we will pick this back up with it being Morgoth's turn. As I unpause you. Now, Morgoth, if you can't find yourself, you're under the trees right over here.
We did notice I found one.
Yeah, you knew that there were some creatures over in this area.
Okay. Just making sure
you figured that out, but you weren't sure exactly because they're still invisible. That is also true. But Morgoth, you're up first.
Okay. Dead one right there. Didn't I hear one over here?
You kind of moved over to this direction. I don't remember exactly why. Like I said, it's been about a month.
Okay.
I think you were just moving out of the way because there was one over here and you were trying to stay away from it.
Okay, well, can I do like a perception check to see if I could find one?
Sure.
From the laughter.
Yep.
There it is.
You also heard Artemis mention that there were some over here. Luckily, you got that 14 and not a 4. You're not exactly certain where they're at. The best you still have is that somewhere over in this area of the thing is where Artemis seems to think they are.
Okay. I shall double move to there.
Okay. One of these spots is Greece, or are they both Greece? Artemis, how big is Greece? Do you remember?
Let me look real fast. I think they were both. I think it's 10 foot square.
Oh, no. This one here that you just walked into is entangled. So move yourself back 2, unless you wish to do a strength check to make it through.
Yeah, the small square to the right.
This is Greece. This is entangled.
I go here? Double move to here?
Yeah, you can move there. I'm just saying that if you want to go through here, you have to make a strength saving throw to do it.
Yeah. Alright, that'll be my turn though.
Okay. Yeah, right in here, there's a whole bunch of vines that have, the grass and stuff has grown taller, and it's kind of waving around and stuff, and some of it has grabbed hold of Rasputin. All right, Morgoth is complete. Bonus action you want to do anything with?
I don't actually know. Let me look real quick. Features. No.
Okay. All good. And it is now Silva's turn, who is sleeping. Silva, give me a perception roll with disadvantage. So, actually, let me read sleep real quick just to make sure. It doesn't matter. You don't wake up. Fortunately, you don't wake up unless somebody hits you or something like that. Okay, so you fall unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage, or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake. So, yeah, it doesn't matter even if you were to do that. So, yes, you are still asleep, and that is the end of your turn. Rasputin, who is currently stuck in the entangle, Can he make another? Here, he casts a spell. Can use his action to make a strength check against yourself on the success. Okay, so he is going to try to free himself. He's like, help me out! Get out of here! Help me get out of here!
Okay.
Oops! And now I just added some audio and I didn't mean to. And he does a strength saving throw, and that is enough for him to break out as his action. So he moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He moves back here by Silva, and that's who's asleep on the ground, and that's it. And it is now the creature's turns. Let's see here. This one. All right. So, who's the owl anyway? Whose owl is that?
I think that's what Artemis is.
Yeah, that's my owl. It's
Okay.
my familiar.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so the owl, sort of through the owl, Artemis, you hear something kind of fly past it from left to right on the map.
Okay, possibly an arrow or
More of a buzzing.
Okay.
And it sort of fades off.
Okay.
Let's see this guy. One. This one does this, and he can do it within. He throws up an entangle right here. So that means Sealgair, Silva, and Rasputin need to make a strength saving throw. Silva, yours is with disadvantage, so you do fail because you're asleep. So something grabs at you. However, this does wake you up because you're now being grappled by these vines. You wake up and you're restrained. Sealgair. I'll do Rasputin here in a second. You're prone, no longer asleep, but you are restrained. Rasputin does a strength saving throw. And he succeeds, so he does not get restrained. He'll be able to move freely next turn. Sealgair, give me a strength saving throw. And Kat is probably still dealing with something else.
Yeah, she's taking a picture, so you might as well let her be restrained, or it may take a second.
She is actually restrained as she fails her saving throw.
She just sat down again.
That's all right. I've already made this.
Sorry about that. I was saying
okay.
about it, Ash.
No, it's fine. All right. That pixie restrains that area.
I like you, Peter, but I don't love you.
Oopsie. That was not supposed to happen. Oh, good. You couldn't see it anyway. I just wanted to see the... And then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Silva, or not Silva, Sealgair, you notice that another spellcaster comes within 30 feet of you. It is right here.
Well, right there. Okay.
All right. Now this one. This one. Ooh, I should also make sure something real quick. Yeah, see, it's not. Well, that's bad. It's not. It didn't update the fact that I used a spell, so it still thinks I have a use of something on this guy. So this could be bad in the sense that I don't know which guys cast the sleep in the entangle the last time, but I will at least fix this guy. All right, Shelgar, you know that there's another one comes in right there.
Ah, okay. So 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, this one. Oh, I also used a confusion. No. Okay, good. All right, so this one does this, and it puts it right here. All right, so Morgoth, you need to give me a wisdom saving throw, I think. Yes. All right, you make your wisdom save, so you do not become confused. Just good. All right, let me make sure that this gets used because it's not properly using things, and then I will kill this because it's now gone. There's nobody else near him. The same guy. Wait, I forgot to hit. Yeah, I forgot to hit this guy. He then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So you hear some kind of buzzing near you, Morgoth. All right. And Morgoth. All right. You hear a plink as if somebody broke a string on like a harp or something, and then you see an arrow fall short of you, on the ground, and you hear a tiny little fuck, 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 fuck in Sylvan, but you don't know Sylvan, so
That makes it cuter.
Yeah. I know. Or something like that. This one is currently deceased. So it's deceased. There you go.
As you do.
This one also fires an arrow at Morgoth. This one, you hear the twang and you see a little thing coming your direction, and it hits your armor, but just kind of bounces off. It's like this little itty bitty arrow, maybe about an inch, maybe 2 inches in length, almost the size of a twig, just kind of plink, kind of plinks off of you. And this one goes there, and then this one here also shoots an arrow at you.
Hey, buddy.
Also, actually, this one just goes by your head. You hear this, barely hear this thing just go past your head. And it is now Artemis's turn.
So, do I still have a thought of where they are?
Let's see here. I have to find Artemis. You still think they might be where they're at, although as they come into range of Shelgar, I will say that it's a free action for her to say that there are 2 that have closed close to her.
Okay, can I fire a firebolt at them with
disadvantage? Yes.
I'm probably never going to hit them with disadvantage. So I'm going to use the magic.
You can fire at them, and you have at least.
I definitely would think
hold on,
disadvantage.
Well, I'm thinking there's 2 possibilities here. I can either give you disadvantage, or I can say Shelgar says there's one here and one here, and then there's no disadvantage, but because they're invisible, they have +5 to their AC.
How about I have time to point out one of the 2?
No, I'm saying you have a free action to say they're there, but pointing them out still means they're still invisible, so they still have a +5 to their AC, no matter what, because you can't see them. It's like they have full cover. But So I would say no disadvantage, but they have +5 to the AC. So you have your option of which one you want to shoot if you want to do that with a firebolt. And like I said,
I'm reading firebolts.
Sealgair says there's one here and that there's one here.
Ranged spell attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do detect magic on myself.
All right.
Because maybe that'll help a little better. And I think I activated my shillelagh, but just in case I'm activating my shillelagh.
I think you might have.
That's a bonus action. I think I did, but
I'll check real quick. We have enough of this stuff that it probably will tell me. Because I know you fired a firebolt previously.
I actually don't think I did. I don't think I fired a
No, when it was the you did a firebolt previously when it was the Phantasmal Force stuff, the images. You fired a firebolt into them. As well as did the grease.
It's a cantrip.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just
okay.
It doesn't look like you activated your shillelagh, so go right ahead. There you go. So there's your bonus action activate.
And I'm gonna move away from the group.
Well, hold on. Is shillelagh a cantrip?
It is.
Okay. Then yes, you can do that.
The cantrip bonus action. So
yeah, go ahead. Activate that guy.
Okay. And I think I did, but I'll do it again just to make sure we have the record.
Yeah, it just didn't show up. Oh.
Okay.
It's still not
and then
up.
I will go ahead and move.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, sweet.
3, 4. Okay, so I'll stop there. I'm still I'll get behind a tree.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I'm done.
All right, Sealgair, yeah.
Oh, does my detect magic seem to help me see it?
Unfortunately, it does not.
Okay.
Either they don't have any magic on them, and you cast technically when you cast detect them, you send any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. They are not visible.
Right.
So,
but it does 10 minutes. So
yeah.
Yep.
But,
okay.
Yes, in the next 10 minutes, if something magical that you can visually see comes within 30 feet of you, I'll let you know.
Well, like the firebolt or something if they fire it. So cool.
Shelly, you're up.
So, I think I'm going to target the first one that showed up.
So this one here.
Okay, right there.
Okay.
Is that okay.
And what are you going to fire at? What are you going to do with it?
So I believe I'm using my bow.
Okay. In your case, because you have the detection, you don't see it, but you know where it's at. So it doesn't have +5 against you, +5 armor class against you.
Yay!
Anybody else that's trying to use your description of where it's at doesn't have disadvantage because you're basically pointing pretty much where it's at, but it does have full cover in the sense of it gets a +5.
Okay.
To its AC. That's how I'm going to rule it. It makes it easier. All right, so 13 to hit with your short bow. Unfortunately, it dodges out of the way. Bzz, you see it kind of move quickly. It's only about 18 inches tall. It's really tiny. So.
All right, and how does it work? I think I had the mark. And does that move when you kill an enemy?
I believe you can remark, but let me check real quick.
Most of them it's a bonus action, but I don't know if it's 100.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's Blood Curse of the Marked. Yeah, you can bonus action mark again.
Okay. Bonus action, I will mark the one I shot at.
Okay, cool.
Do you rule it happened before or after I shot?
I don't care. You can choose.
I'm going to say I marked it before I shot.
Okay.
And that does mark damage, right?
Only if you hit.
Only if I hit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling to see what it was. That's all. Okay.
Let me add a mark to this guy.
Do I have to spend another hematocrit die to do that?
That is what I was just looking at.
Okay.
Because I don't believe so. When you mark a creature until the end of turn, read you right to the. I don't think so. I think it's just when you activate, because you're
Okay.
activating the Crimson Right. And then
Right.
you invoke the right of human, and then you actually a single weapon. Yeah, because you activate it on the weapon, right? The Crimson Right
Right,
on your
yes.
weapon.
Yes.
And then that allows you to do the blood curse of the marked and things like that. Or in your case, the right of the storm or something like that. I can't remember
Okay.
which one you picked. I'd have to look it up, but
And a reminder, I did amplify it, so I
no,
don't
I know.
Okay.
It's still a thing. I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
I just unfortunately you happen to miss this one.
Yeah,
But you
definitely.
still have a bonus action which you've marked the guy, and you still can move if you'd like.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I failed my strength.
Hold on, you failed your strength saving throw, so you're
yeah.
restrained. So you
Right.
can't move, and you're already attacked, so you can't try to even
Right.
break free of it. So you're all done.
Yep.
Andal, you're up. Sealgair has said that there is a creature here. Oops. Creature here and a creature here.
And I have a question. I won't apply it for this term because I'm still trying to remember this. But with the marked, the blood curse of the marked, and you amplify it, it says the next attack you have has advantage. So it's like when you initially mark the person, does that transfer when you move from one
that
target
won't
to
transfer
another?
that. You have to amplify a second time. It's to a different mark because
Okay,
you're marking a different creature.
gotcha. I'll keep that in mind for
Yep.
next time.
Yep, that's all good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Andal is going to shoot at the area.
And hold on real quick, Andal. Remember, Shelley, that the mark only lasts until the end of your next turn. So that's what's going on. So like every turn, you basically have to remark something.
Okay. Remark, I don't have to spend hematocrit die, but if I'm going to amplify it every turn, I have to spend one. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. We'll
Okay.
say
Okay.
yes for now, and I'll do some research to make sure that's true. But we'll say yes
Right.
for now. I think that's part of the whole balancing thing of this class, but I need to make sure 100% before I say that. But
Yeah.
for now, we'll just say yes, you do.
Play it that way. Great.
Yeah, for
Okay,
now.
cool.
All right. Sorry, Andal, your turn.
I will attempt to shoot the dude who's over here.
All right. Give me a attack roll. You don't have
They shall
disadvantage, but it does have a bonus to its armor class.
He shall be struck. A smooth criminal. No, never
Unfortunately,
mind.
it goes pretty wide of its mark, and you miss. You have a bonus action. You still have a move.
She's sleeping. Yeah, she is. We just started hanging out. I haven't played this in a while.
Artemis, I forgot to ask if you wanted to move your owl. You can still if you wish, while Andal's deciding what else to do.
That's all I got for right now.
Okay. Top of the round, Morgoth, you're up. You know that there is a buzzing sound near you. You feel that you could probably reach it with your attack, but you would have disadvantage to the attack roll.
Well, I'll do that then.
And it also has higher armor class because you can't see it. But roll your attack.
8. Oh, whoops, I rolled the wrong sword. Oh well, I still dropped it.
Yeah, you drop your longsword. So as you swing, you just kind of lose control of it because you're swinging at nothing as far as you're concerned, even though you can hear something nearby. You just swing and you lose control of the sword and it just drops onto the ground. You can use a bonus action to pick it back up or your move action.
I'm going to use my move action.
All right, you still have a bonus then.
I shall then...
He shall.
How long do I... Whoop. Do I... Okay, I'm gonna... Action Sage.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna action
surge.
surge.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try it again.
All right.
So why not?
You connect with something.
Yeah.
And you connect and you feel it, like you barely feel it because you hit it, but you definitely feel something hit, and the creature becomes visible and falls to the ground in front of you, where you've cut off. Basically, you've cut it in half.
Oh,
It is now deceased.
okay.
And around you, you hear gasps like, no, 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 like around you. These tiny little voices. It's as if
Now you pissed them off.
It's as if a million tiny voices cried out in pain.
Only, a million voices
but it
cried
only
out,
sounded like
and
3.
were suddenly silenced.
But only one was silenced.
Like that would work.
Silva, you are awake, but you are restrained, prone and restrained. It's your turn. If you wish to move, you must use your action to make another saving throw.
I like shoot things.
No.
You can attack, but it's a disadvantage when you're restrained.
Yeah, you could shoot something. You're just restrained. So that's all.
Yeah, I'll shoot one of them. I'll shoot the one that was shot at last.
All right, so that's this one.
Yeah, with a gun.
All right.
There it is.
You hit it. So the large bang in the thing. You see. Basically, think of it as like a small bird kind of flip around and then fall to the ground as it becomes visible, and immediately falls to the ground dead.
Gonna move right here.
Which, of course, no, you're not going to move because you're restrained.
Oh, right. Forgot about it.
That's all right. I just reminded you. Also, that means, Sealgair, your mark is reset again because they killed the one that you had marked.
Nice.
Rasputin wasn't locked anymore, or wasn't restrained. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He kind of backs away, and you can see his eyes are wide, and he's very, very. Terror is not the right word. Terror. His eyes are wide in terror. He's not understanding how the forest is attacking him, and because he hasn't really been noticing the pixies that have been getting blown out of the sky. All right, this pixie here continues doing what he's doing and goes off the board. This pixie is deceased. Let's do this. All right. And this pixie. All right. So this one, this one fires an arrow at you, Silva, which is 22, so you take 6 points of piercing damage as this arrow comes, this little tiny arrow. It's like maybe 2-3 inches long. Well, this is an 18-inch tall creature. Yeah, maybe about 3 inches long. Kind of hits you in the creases of your coat, and it hurts really bad. 6 points is not a little amount. That was the minimum. Seriously, that was the minimum? Wow. So you take 6 points, Silva, and then it's... You notice that it moves, Sealgair.
Huh. Where are we going, little friend?
And it goes out of your range. 4, 6. Let's see here. This one.
Which way did it move again?
You saw it go from here around and out.
Okay.
All right, this pixie here.
When do I do a strength saving throw again to try to break the entangle?
As an action on your turn.
Okay.
This one, another little arrow comes flying out at you. And you hear another pling, as actually I think this is the one that lost his arrow in the first place. So at this point, you see a little itty bitty sword come falling to the ground. And because it moves in, you hear the buzzing start to go away. So Morgoth, you can make an attack of opportunity, but again, it's disadvantage.
No reason not to.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, that's still not going to be enough.
Unfortunately, you miss. And this thing seems to. There. Pixie is deceased. This pixie right here fires another arrow at you. Morgoth. Is a 21 hit?
Yeah.
Alright, so this tiny little arrow finds a chink in your armor and you take 7 points of damage.
7 points.
Ow.
Yeah, ow.
Pixies are nasty.
And the last pixie does the same thing, attacks you with an arrow. Oh, another 21. So another 9 points of damage. Is it another little arrow strikes you?
9.
All right.
Oh, you're making me do math.
9 plus 7 is 16.
Okay.
Artemis, you're up.
Yeah, not a lot I can do. Where are they? Kelly? Sealgair?
Well, I'm gonna, point to. I can't see them anymore. The ones that are still alive. I saw one take off that way and point in the direction it took off.
Yeah, she points over towards this way. That's about it. She said she's not sure where it is there over there though.
Okay. I will send my owl out and try to see if he can locate them.
All right. Perception check.
Yes. Roll, little button, roll. Did it roll?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Because
can't
you
I
have
see it? Interesting.
keen sight and hearing, you have advantage. So roll a second time.
Okay, I'm gonna log out after this because I can't see.
11 is not what's its attribute for?
It's like a
+1.
+2,
plus 3.
Yeah.
So 14 is not enough to really detect anything, although something is right around in here as it kind of takes off and continues moving. You'll need to move the owl where you want it to go. Actually, can you move the owl where you want it to go? You may not.
I'm not sure. I don't even see the owl, to be
It's
honest.
right here.
Yeah, my screen must be locked because I'm not seeing anything on my screen. He'll just hover in the area over the trees. Like fly up into a tree.
He's kind of moves in the direction that Sealgair had mentioned.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do? Move or anything?
Yeah, I do. Let's see if I can do that. It was just lag, man. Okay, so I'll stay in there because everything just all of a sudden got me. All right, so I'm there.
All right, Sealgair, you're up.
Alrighty, so I don't see anybody, I'm
Nope.
assuming.
I mean, you see the two that are dead on the ground.
Yeah, and I can't move anywhere, so I'll go ahead and try to do a strength saving throw to break my entangle.
All right, go for it.
Please work, please work.
Unfortunately, you're unable to break the restraint. Anything else you want to try to do?
I can't move. Bonus action. Nothing to see. I will say nope.
Okay. Andal, you're up. It's very clear based on what you can see that Morgoth has taken some hits. Like you can see him kind of batting at stuff and pulling out things from his armor and stuff like that.
I'm gonna move one. What is the big purple?
That is what Sealgair can see. The range Sealgair can
Okay.
see
1,
these
2,
things if they get closer.
3, 4, 5.
What's your passive perception?
13?
How much?
13?
Let me check something real quick. Yeah, okay. Continue. All right, so you moved 5. Is there anything else you want to do? You don't know that Sealgair can see exactly that range. That's
No, I know. I was just asking what it was.
Yeah.
Do I see any direction that Morgoth is feeling assailed at specifically?
Not really. You were too far away for that, but you definitely could see that he was taking some hits from something.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my attack action.
All right.
And I'm gonna be looking around, and if I see an arrow come from a specific direction or like an attack from somewhere, I will respond and shoot an arrow in the direction of the place where he was attacked from.
Okay, sounds good. Morgoth, you are up. There is no buzzing super close to you, but you can sort of hear it. It's not there's some buzzing not too far away from
And I head in the direction it's at.
you. Give me a perception check. You believe that there is some buzzing not too far away from you if you go this direction.
All right. I'll go.
You're not sure how far to go. All right. Right at that point, you run into something, so back off one. So you can make an attack roll. You have disadvantage.
Yep.
That still hits. You do 4 points of damage, but it only has 1 point. So you feel it connect again, and again another one kind of splits apart in the air, kind of flips around like if you had hit a bird or something like that, and then appears on the ground.
You remember what that other die is for? Except for like the special damage that I do when I put a thing in there, a pellet in there?
Probably.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Let's see that I just killed. Properly set up here. All right, Silva, you are still restrained. If you wish to move away, you'll have to make a strength saving throw as an action. Brian. Brian.
He's dead.
Or muted.
Possibly.
Or doing something else.
Sorry. I didn't realize I was muted.
Silva. It is your
All
turn.
right. I'm still restrained, correct?
Yes, you will need to make a saving throw too.
Yeah, let's do that. I'd
All right.
say
Strength saving throw. You break the restraint. You can use half your move to get up because you were still prone, and then you may move.
Cool.
All right. So,
I want to look at it.
looking at it, it is clearly maybe a creature that's maybe about 18 inches tall. It kind of looks like this. Let me bring up the picture real quick. Looks like this. Except what's different here is that you can see sort of a blackish color where it was clear that there's like veins and stuff. So like blackish veins go through its body. And so from an anatomy standpoint, it almost looks like there's blackness where the veins are of some sort.
That's not very nice.
They don't they're probably.
That's it for me.
Okay. Rasputin says to Artemis, where are they? The forest is alive. Please, Protect me from it. It wants to get me back. That's what he says. Pixie, that one's running away and is pretty much gone. Let's see the next one. Dead. This Pixie fires an arrow at our lovely friend Morgoth.
No!
And that is a 21 again. How the hell is it? So 7 more points, Morgoth.
Did he get shot from somewhere?
Yeah,
What
he
did you
did.
do
You
to
saw
that
an arrow
pixie?
sort of appear. You can shoot with disadvantage because it's really still hard to know exactly where it's at. You miss, unfortunately. Wherever that appeared from, you miss. And then it moves. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That one's dead. Wow, you guys have killed 1, 2, 3. You've killed half. You hear, Morgoth, you hear in a strange language, Noista! I think, don't Noista!
That's whack.
The Nazi fairies? Because that sounds German.
It's not German.
I know, but the way it's...
And this one, you get one more arrow comes your direction. Let's see if I can not get a 21. 24. It's not a 21. 6 points of damage to you, Morgoth.
Rude.
Come on. All right. Are you still up? Wow, you can take a lot of damage. Artemis, your turn.
Now that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Your turn,
I'm
Artemis.
gonna... Using the tech magic, I can't see anything still.
No, there's no magic for you to detect. You
No,
literally says you have to visibly see something.
But the bodies, do the bodies?
The bodies are not magical. They're a creature. They're not magical. How far? Hold on. You were there though.
Yeah.
None of the bodies are within 30 feet of you. That's also.
Okay. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
There is a very, very, very faint necromantic magic on this creature.
Gotcha.
Probably because, I mean, it's faint probably because it's dead. But
So 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to shoot at what I feel like Andy does. If I see an arrow fly, I'm gonna try to shoot it with the firebolt.
Okay. Sealgair, you're up. You're still restrained, unfortunately.
Still restrained. And can I see any now? Did I see where some of the pixies are shooting from? The one that was shooting at what's his face?
You guys are like, the only reason why Andal even saw one is because it was literally within 15 feet of him. You have no idea where these arrows are coming. Remember, it's basically the size of a toothpick.
Yeah.
That's flying out from someplace.
Well,
so the chances of you seeing something from even 15 feet is pretty small.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to be rolling a strength save again. And please work this time.
Unfortunately, you are still restrained.
I got sticky bushes on my feet.
Yes, you do.
What the heck? I'm spending more time paying attention to the bushes than what's going around around me.
Did we kill the one that did that? Maybe, or was that one still alive? I don't know if that's concentration or not.
I don't know if it's concentration either. Let me check real quick. That is concentration.
64.
Question becomes, which one was this? The one right after Rasputin. Is not this one. All right. Yeah, technically, yes, it has. So you are not restrained, actually, Sealgair.
Oh, okay. So I can take an action.
You can take an action. Actually, that's the one. I need this one, right? What did I just delete? Oh, I deleted your grease. Let's
Oh.
not do that because the grease is still up. All right. So you can move. let's be clear. You can move and still take an action.
Yeah, great. I'm going to like move to here. I believe that's 30 feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's 30 feet.
Okay. Let's see, person. No, let go of the roller. That one. And I move to there. And do I see anything?
You see an owl. You see Andal. That's it. You see Morgoth. Lots of blood dripping from little itty tiny wounds.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right, then that's it. I
Andal.
can't see anything to shoot.
Andal, you're up. Oh, hold on. We should move your thing. I'm sorry. I now understand what you were asking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's the direction I saw the guy run off.
Yep. No. I totally get what you were asking now. Now
Did
that
she see anyone?
you still don't see anyone.
Okay.
After I've moved your thing to see if it was in range or anything, you still don't see anyone. So
All
here's
right.
your
We'll
turn.
move to
Andal.
here,
Okay.
and
You see
continue.
one of these dead ones here. It's kind
Mhm.
of been cleft in twain. There's one sort of in front of
Oh,
Morgoth.
I could double move.
Morgoth that's been cleft in twain as well.
I could double move,
You
can
could, yes.
I? Okay, let me do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll move towards where I see the other dead body. I'm assuming I can see that one.
Okay, moving into there, you definitely see spellcaster right here.
Well, so as my free action, I'll point out the spellcaster and
I will shoot him.
say, oh, I see one.
All right, so you don't have disadvantage, but it still has the higher numbers. But you still hit.
Correct. Okay.
All right, so you pull back and aim and shoot with really good accuracy, and you see the arrow just kind of hit something and then kind of tumble, and it comes down, and again, there's another one of these creatures on the end of it, and he is dead.
Happens, honestly. All right.
All right. It is anything else you want to do? You've moved, you've fired.
Finished.
All
And
right.
thus I am done.
Morgoth, it is your turn. You don't hear any buzzing near you anymore.
Okay. Have I heard any buzzing in a while? Like
After his arrow comes hitting that thing, you could just barely make that one out. You don't hear. You haven't heard anything since that though.
Well, I'm kind of hot.
You can.
Even a bit of pain.
You can do a second wind.
I could.
That's true.
This whole fighter thing. Ooh, you got yourself 10 hit points back. 13 hit points back.
Wow.
Nice.
Max healing.
That is a bonus
Like one
action.
hit at this point.
That was 2 hits actually, but
Is anybody else sort of near any, I guess? Or
not
has,
that you know, the only
said
the only last one that was Sealgair could see was the one that Andal hit.
Are you
She
gonna
can't
eat
see any others.
Okay, I shall channel my inner hearing skills and try one more time to see
Alright.
if I can locate one.
All right. You think you might there was buzzing around you. You definitely heard it head off this way, but you still can't hear anymore. Like it headed this direction, but you can't hear anymore.
6.
All right, you definitely hear buzzing around you now, but the perception check you made was an action, so you are unable to do it.
Okay. I shall say this way.
Okay. Silva, you're up.
Oh, hold on. It is touch. That's what I thought.
I believe also. At
But
this
I
point,
remade my homunculus, didn't I?
I don't know because remember it used a.
Yeah, I bought the gem.
I don't think you remade it though.
Okay, I just have to do it over a long rest. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just put it into this long rest then.
Yeah, I don't remember you making it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't think I put it in, but I will. Have they called out a general direction for where
Morgoth mentioned that he thought he was hearing one around where he is, way down here.
What? Why did I go all the way up here?
I don't know.
Down where? I'm sorry, I pulled my screen up.
Note, this is a greasy spot.
Okay. Fine.
Someone has to step in my grease spot so the spell is not completely useless.
And I'll just shoot in the direction. See what I can hit.
All right, it's disadvantage and it's got full cover, so I mean,
Sure.
you can still shoot. It's just the likelihood of you hitting it. Almost, not quite, but you miss.
It's close.
A shot rings out, and you can, Morgoth, where you're standing, you can hear, you see it kind of splinter apart a little bit of the side of the tree that's right here, as it misses whatever it was trying to hit. And you briefly hear a over the buzzing. And that's it. Rasputin is a coward. That pixie has done what it has done. These pixies are dead. That pixie has done what it's done. So that leaves this pixie. Morgoth, you hear the buzzing move away from you. If you wish to make an opportunity attack, you can. Disadvantage, though. And even with disadvantage, Morgoth splits another one in
This
twain.
is just too freaking good.
And you see another one come tumbling out of the air and hit the ground.
Ha.
Dead
Morgoth
again.
is going to single-handedly massacre the pixie population.
Hey,
in this
I'm
area.
okay with that. I'm sure not.
Morgoth 4, Pixie 0.
Well, they had that. Almost Pixies 1. Artemis.
Almost.
Okay, so have I remember I looked at, do I know the goblin hallucinogen potion to the extent where I think I could recreate it?
Give me an intelligence check, because I don't remember. If I say
I don't
yes or
either.
no.
I remember I looked at it, but I don't
Again,
remember.
it's been a month, so it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
Just give me an intelligence check.
Okay, let me get my PC thing up.
I mean, I know you examined it some, so
Yeah.
I know you spent some time looking at it, so I just need to make a decision based on your intelligence check. That's all. And the answer is yes. You believe you can remake the goblin hallucinogenic potion if you wished, or bomb.
So for a cool effect, I pull my owl Hootie back to me, and I put the one test tube of the potion, and I fly him that way towards the general area, and then I do perception roll.
Oh, that's the Watcher. Hold on. Where are you?
I'm hiding in the trees back.
No, I understand that. Okay, so it's got a fly of 60. So
yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, there's the owl.
Yeah, he's right here. 1, 2.
Well, I can move to him actually. Let me move
4,
closer. Then
5. Well, he can make it to you. I just like
well, I mean,
60 is 12 of them.
Movement.
60 is 12 of them. So he comes down, lands next to you, and you put the thing in his claws, and then we'll say he can do a half move after that. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah,
so he's over there.
Okay. Do I get enough time for my action, or is that my action?
No, that's your action, because you're giving it to him and doing some stuff with him.
Yeah.
Plus, remember, you're telling the owl to come back to you and a bunch of stuff. So I think that's all fair for 6 seconds. To be fair.
No, that's fine.
Sealgair, you're up. Catherine.
She's coming. She's throwing the dogs out.
That's all right.
Hey,
It's your
let's get
turn.
a drink. Oh,
Yeah.
so Pixie's dead. Pixie's dead. I'm assuming there's nothing in range that I'm seeing.
Six dead pixies, and you currently don't see anything in range now.
Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So move down to here and pause for a second. Do I see
Still
anything?
nothing.
Okay, then I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move over to here as a double move.
Still nothing. You don't even hear any buzzing.
Okay.
Andal.
We believe they've run off.
I don't know. Do you believe they've run off? You don't. You can try perception and see if you can hear anything.
I'll move closer.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure, that
Sealgair
was
says she's
5.
not seeing anything. So.
I will listen.
All right. Perception check. Listening intently, all you hear are the tweeting of birds, the wind through the trees. You don't hear and the heavy breathing of Sealgair and Morgoth and Artemis, the flap of the owl's wings. That's it. You don't hear any of the sort of the buzzing wings that you had heard before.
All right, boys, I think that we're good.
And with that, we'll end combat. Because it does seem as though the things have run away.
Well,
Rasputin comes over to you guys. Comes out from behind. He's like, "Is it gone?" I should be doing more of a. Are they gone?
Possibly for the moment. Do I know if fairies? I know. Okay, in your world, are fae the traditional fae of like the myth, or the Disney fae of? Or do I know?
Give me an Arcana check, and I will give you information. I will first give you general knowledge, and then I will give you what you might have learned from some of your stuff. All right, so
oh, good, I'm back to normal rolling.
General knowledge of the Fae. It is generally thought of as sort of, think of them as old world Fae, where the Fae are little mischievous creatures that you put milk out at night for, so that they don't actually try to do pranks and tricks upon you. At least that's what the diary say. The Seerly consider them evil spirits and try to kill them as much as they can. The elves, you do know elves exist, but you've never seen one.
Okay.
But you do know they exist because you have seen half elves before. Half elves are sometimes called changelings, in the sense that they have been stolen from their human, from a baby stolen at birth and then replaced with
oh yeah, the traditional myth of
the traditional myth.
Yeah.
But you're pretty sure that myth is not true. They're not being replaced. It's just someone has encountered an elf of some sort, and But from an Arcana check, you have heard that there are portals, usually in the deep wild places, to the Feywild. And that this is probably where most Fey come from.
Okay.
And elves in this world are considered Fey. If you were to become an actual elf, your type would be considered Fey, not humanoid, as a player.
Okay, not yeah. Okay. I would like to examine an elf and
You mean a pixie?
a pixie. Sorry. Well, an elf would be cool too, but since we don't have any of those,
You don't
pixies.
seem to have any of those right here. No. So looking at the dead pixies, some have been the 4 that are
The parts
around
of them?
here are all like one of them's got an arrow sticking through it that pretty much is almost cut it in half. These 3 have all been cut in half. I believe this one was hit with a short sword, but it's been cut in half. This one was shot with a bullet, so basically its torso is almost missing.
What the
But
hell is
looking
that?
at them, like I said, they look like little pixies, about 18 inches tall, thereabouts. They have sort of butterfly or dragonfly wings, depending on which ones you look at. Some of them have the wings are slightly different based on which ones you're looking at, but all still sort of the whole kind of butterfly insect-like wings. They are mostly a greenish gray color. So let me put this up again so you can see it. Wearing kind of clothing that would make them kind of blend into the surroundings. Like if you had come upon this and they were not invisible, it probably would have looked like just a really large butterfly in some cases, or a really large dragonfly initially, until you got close enough to realize, wait, that's like a real thing, like a little person. And like I was saying before, like you can see their veins through their arms and legs and face because
Yes.
they're darkened, like almost black, like a purplish black. And when you were looking at the one with your detect magic that you kind of got close to, because it's 10
That was
minutes,
my
it's
next
still
question.
10 minutes. It's the veins themselves that look like they're very faint, fading necromantic magic.
Okay. So yeah, I've never examined this, but there's necromancy here. I've got my little eyeglass on to look
Mhm.
for the magic and stuff. These may have been corrupted fae. I don't know. So it's possible there's other things at work here. But Morgoth, everyone, nice job. I'll take my hallucinogenic potion back from my owl and
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So yeah, you guys looking around this kind of clearing, this glade where they were in, you can actually see, you see underneath a couple of trees, you see sort of a bright red mushroom.
Okay.
Anybody want to? You can give me a nature roll.
I will, in fact. It's either really good or really
Wow.
bad. Okay, really good.
You just glancing about, you're like, oh my gosh, those are Valyr's tears over there. And it's a bright red mushroom, and you know for a fact that you can use these to make healing potions.
Ooh, grab those.
So you're able to get a dozen from there.
Okay, perfect. I'm assuming it would take some time to make the healing
Yeah, you
potion.
got to brew the potion. It's just that they help in the making of that potion. I'll give you some kind of like I'm
Yeah, we can
slowly coming
whenever.
through some crafting rules for things like potions and stuff like that based on herbs and things of that nature. Like there's sort of a base you would have that you could do, like this will help them make you faster and things like that. Or
Okay.
you have 2 options with this sort of thing. Like you'll be able to either make the potion faster because you're using this component that is optimal for the potion, or you can make the potion more potent. Those are the 2 options. So like it's either quicker to make the potion or more effective. So,
Okay.
but we'll talk about that. Like it's not like you can do it right now. So yeah, you find that. Anything else you guys are doing? Rasputin is like, I don't hear any of the things, and the grasses have stopped moving around. Are we? Have you killed them all? We're good. The woods are no longer haunted.
I think they're still here. We just drove them off.
Oh.
But having said that, we're safe at the moment, it seems like.
Well, you seem to be finding some of your things. Should we continue looking for more, or?
Well, you have to find your friends too, right?
Oh yes, my friends. We should go look for their friends. Yes, totally. Let us head this way. And he starts heading towards the east. Unless you guys needed a break or something.
But yeah, a break would be good. We should probably take a rest,
Okay.
especially Morgoth.
All right. He's like, well, let's get out of this open glade and find a better place. And after about, if you guys follow him, he basically takes you someplace and you find a more defensible, less out in the open position in about 5 minutes. It's not too hard. It's a forest, for crying out loud.
Okay.
And if you wish to take a short rest, you may take a short rest.
Let's do it. And there's nothing else magical, I'm assuming, in the break. No bows, the little bows or anything.
Oh, they're all traditional. They're made of little pieces of wood, twigs more than anything.
I'll take a couple just because.
Okay.
Examine later.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask our guide, are there any ruins or anything, any buildings where they would keep your friends easier?
I don't know. I mean,
Old temples?
I mean, like shrines or something like that. I've never seen such a thing in here, but there is an abnormally large tree not too far from here, maybe an hour or 2 hours from here. Maybe that is their home.
It could be. It could be. That could be their portal to this place.
I don't know what you mean
I'm
by
not sure
portal,
if we want
but
to.
it could be where they're coming from.
I go into a long dissertation of what I know and embellishing what I don't know about the Fae, of how they come from the Feywild, and while some people say they come to make changelings, that usually we don't believe that's true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys do during that rest? Don't forget to make the short rest and roll hit dice if you wish.
Believe it or not, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm more
I
leaning
just
towards
can't recover my spells.
more towards Morgoth than anything else.
Yeah, I think he's the one who really took it on the chin. And I've only got one spell left, so I'm trying to hold that healing.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
1 heart. 1 hit point before max. That's unfortunate.
Oh well. All right, so you guys sit there for about an hour, chew on a little bit of food and things like that. It's now, you've been doing this for about 3 hours. It's maybe a couple. You started early in the morning. Remember, he wanted you there early, so you're maybe a little past mid-morning. And he kind of stands up and says, "All right, are we ready to go?"
I am ready.
I think so.
All right, let us go this way. And he starts heading off into the forest towards the east. Forest is same as it has been as you kind of going through dry runs. It's somewhat hilly, but mostly it's tending to slope slightly downwards as you're sort of coming out of the mountain range here in this sort of area, heading towards the coast. So for the most part, you're sort of going down, but I mean, with some hills and things like that as you're going through it. After about an hour, you happen to notice that the trees are starting to look a little worse for the wear, as if they haven't gotten enough water. I mean, it is coming on fall tide, so you're starting to get into the beginnings of fall. But even that, it sort of, you would think that looking at these trees, it almost looks like they've had a drought or something through here, which doesn't make sense because literally, half an hour back they looked fine. And so the trees look a little like they're already starting to drop leaves, look a little stressed. You guys doing anything, or are you just going to let Rasputin continue to lead you?
No, I'm gonna stop him because this could be the source of the corruption. I want to kind of pull some leaves out and examine them. And
okay. And again, it looks kind of well. Give me a nature check. Sorry, I'll let you. Like I'm giving you the basics. Let's see what your nature check.
I have no good stats. Okay. I need more skills in this game.
Well, Either 18 or 1.
There we go.
You're not sure. In fact, you think the trees that you're kind of looking at are probably fine. It's probably, again, just lack of water for whatever reason. This particular spot's just not getting as much water as it should.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this should be perfectly normal. This is perfectly normal this time of year.
Yep. All right. Anybody else want to do anything? Or Rasputin looks a little impatient and a little concerned. Nervous? Yeah, nervous is probably the right word. He
Do you think we should try to find like a pixie headquarters? Something like that? Maybe that's where your friends were taken?
I don't know if that's where they were taken. It seems more likely this tree, which is there's local legends about it. So we should just try there.
Okay.
At least it's a place to start.
Yeah.
And unless you wish to try to track these pixies, so we would have to go back an hour, and they're flying, so it'd be very difficult.
And invisible.
And they're invisible. Well, I mean, even invisible creatures leave traces.
That's true, leave tracks.
Yeah.
But
they're flying, so you wouldn't find tracks necessarily. You'd have to find some other way, like broken twigs and stuff like that.
Would they shed pixie dust?
Maybe.
Well, I'm thinking I have detect magic.
They didn't seem, even Artemis tried that already.
Yeah.
He didn't see any magic from it.
Okay.
But good thought. Go ahead.
How long would it take me to make like a paint or something that we could throw on them? I should have thought that.
You mean like a fairy fire spell?
Some type of something to dye.
Flower.
Yeah, that would work.
How long would it take you to do something like that? I mean, you have the stuff to maybe do something now, but it'd probably take you a couple hours. You'd also need to forage a little bit here in the forest to get the right things, like even leaves, if they're ground up and fine enough, can kind of attach to themselves. You're basically looking just for a fine dust that'll stick to something.
Right.
But if they're wearing it, doesn't that become invisible too? Everything they're wearing?
You're not sure. Shelly, you can give me an Arcana check. Maybe that's true. As I check the book.
Let's see, where are you, lady girl? Arcana.
Can I roll 2, or do you want me to give it help?
You definitely remember from some of your training that indeed anything that somebody's wearing or carrying becomes invisible. So even if they pick something up.
Okay, so it won't do any good.
Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily do any good. That being said, that doesn't mean you couldn't come up with some kind of like new spell to try to do it.
Yeah.
Like in the parlance of the game mechanic, you could be creating some kind of dust that is intended to reveal invisible creatures, which would be the equivalent of like a detect invisibility quote spell or something like that.
Or like if you shot a fine powder where you thought they were, and it becomes invisible, then within the powder cloud, you'd probably see a void.
Yep, at least for that moment, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we don't have time for that right now unless we go back. So.
I mean, you could take time. I mean, you figure it would take a few hours to make a powder. Yeah, you have stuff on you that would be good enough to expel it. It just would take a few hours to make the powder.
Well, let's do that then. I mean, that would be my advice, because they're probably, if it is the nest portal, there'll be more of them, and it'll be a harder fight.
Probably a good idea.
Right.
Although again, it may not be them; it may be something controlling them.
Yeah. Silva could probably help you to reduce that time to 2 hours.
Okay.
I have an alchemist kit. Is there anything I could assist with?
This is.
I would say mine's geared more toward poisoning for my arrows, but
probably not. But I wanted to check something.
Yeah, I mean, I have an alchemist kit too, so unless it was.
Probably not. This isn't necessarily like this is going to be a cross between herbalism and alchemy.
Okay.
So, which is sort
I
of
think I have
poisoning
both of
too. It's you're not going to help any of the timing of it, but I will say that when we do the roll to see how effective it is here after this, he has advantage on it. I will say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have both of those kits. So
No, it's all good. I understand what she's trying to do, and
oh no,
yeah, she's trying to help, and in this case, Sealgair's trying to help you as well as Silva. So between the three of you, over the next couple of hours, you guys start searching around for various things to kind of grind up, and so that takes that's probably the first half an hour, and that's where you gain most of the time back, because with multiple you guys, you're looking, you are able to find stuff. I will also say, so during that, give me a nature check.
Someone else want to do it this time, or do you need me to do it?
One person can do it with advantage because there's three of you going. So, but
I'm-
one of
I'm
you,
a
three
base-
people.
I'm a +3, so I'm not skilled in it. Anyone
Silva,
better than that?
Sealgair.
Same.
Okay.
Sealgair just does it. So with a 21, you find what you're looking for, but you also find some belladonna.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, cool. Well done.
Can I keep that to poison my arrows later?
Well, that was one of the things that
Yeah, it's one of the things that's sent out for, I think.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was one of the
okay.
things that they were looking for. But you find enough for maybe 10 doses is what you think you can get out of this. So I mean, you could probably keep some of it. It's not like you have to give it
Yeah.
all up to whoever. I'm not saying you have to.
I would like to do that.
All right. So note somewhere on your character sheet, Marcus, that you have 12. You have a dozen of those, dozen Valier's Tears, the mushrooms, and for you, Sealgair, that you have 10 doses of belladonna, or the equivalent of when you refine it into 12 doses. You didn't have to put it there, but
Oh.
yeah, that's fine. It'll be at least somewhere while I'm looking at it. All right. So, so after that, you guys start grinding with a mortar and pestle or rocks or whatever to try to get it into a fine powder. Give me an alchemist roll. You have advantage on the roll.
That's just straight intelligence with the
Plus proficiency,
bonus.
because you have if you're proficient in an alchemy kit, then it's also
I am.
plus proficiency.
Is that just him, or do I need to do one for the belladonna?
No,
you give me advantage, which is perfect.
just him. All right, so just him, because you're trying to make the powder. The belladonna you're not refining right now. You have to dry it. You have to do a bunch of stuff with it to make it
Gotcha.
viable for what you want to try to do with it. So for now, you just got
That was a crit. Holy cow.
you've got stuff. Like for now, Sealgair, you have the stuff. When you get
Right.
back to civilization, you can dry it out and turn it into something that will be
Good.
useful.
All
for
right,
you.
thanks.
And what was the name of that mushroom again? I'm sorry.
Valier's Tears.
Okay.
I just called it V-Tears.
Yeah. All right. So you're able to make you're grinding. You take the dust and you're mixing it up, and it suddenly dawns on you that, hey, if you add just a little bit of liquid to this, that'll make it sticky. But not so much that it will clog up your delivery system, which you have. So you kind of put just a few drops of water in, and then you mix that up, and you see that, yes, indeed, it's still very powder-like, but when you put your finger on it, it sticks to your finger. And then you put that into basically the equivalent of an insect, pump, an insect repellent pump, and you
put it in his gun.
You'd have to pack it up as some kind of small thing so that when it shot out, it did the thing. But you could make some bullets. I'd say with the 23 you can. You can either put 3 doses. You can put 3 doses into, in essence, an aerosol sprayer, and you can make 3 bullets. Or you can put 6 doses in the aerosol sprayer. You have 6
So
doses.
let's do 3 and 3.
That's fine. It's pretty clear, though, that even putting them in the gun, like the aerosol sprayer, you have to be within melee range to see them or to hit them. With the gun, you basically get 30 feet. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I figured even if the gun just shoots it like an aerosol sprayer, it's still kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm saying you're not getting too much further out. It's not like you can shoot your gun the full range and expect it to suddenly appear there. That won't work. And you think it'll a coat, but as a reminder, you also think. Let me check something. You think this will coat, and it does give you the seeds of an idea for, in essence, a new spell.
Excellent.
But it's not going to be a spell in this case. I'm gonna check quick. So as far as you're concerned right now, it's going to attach to the people, and so for some of them, like you'll see a void is what you're expecting from this for now. But it does give you the idea for a spell to detect invisibility. Doesn't exist in the Goon book. But
we can work that. That's excellent.
You can make that. We will make it, and I will have to decide what level that will be. It's either going to be a second or third level spell. Invisibility is second level, so it has to be at least second level, but it might be third level just because of the way it's worked with you.
Okay.
But you need to. You have to do a little more research to make that, to truly refine this into that kind of thing where you can continue to do it more quickly and do the thing with it. But you think you're onto something here.
I think this will be worthwhile.
All right, so need is the requirement for the fuel that fires ingenuity or something like that.
Yes.
So that takes you a couple hours. So it's now past, based on your lunch and stuff like that, based on the short rest you took and all that sort of stuff, it's now a little bit past noon. And Rasputin looks a little impatient. He doesn't understand at all what the heck what you're trying to do and why you're wasting time with this. But at least to him, at least you found something of the roots and things that you were looking for. So he is okay with this delay. He still looks nervous though.
Okay.
What are you guys doing now?
How far is the tree, Rasputin? How far is this?
I think it is about say another hour or so. Something of that nature, maybe 2. Let us go. And he starts heading. Everybody give me a wisdom saving throw.
Is it every guy is in sex or just every guy is in person?
Every person.
Okay.
I did say everybody, not every guy.
Okay. Well, I use guys too, generic. I was just wondering if this had something to do with
everybody needs to give me a saving throw. Okay. Including Rasputin. Give me a second. Let me do a saving throw here. Saves wisdom.
And I still have my owl scouting around and above us.
Well, then have him do a saving throw as well.
Okay.
Right. So you guys start walking, and after about I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes, Artemis, Silva, Sealgair, and Morgoth. Oh wait, no, not Sealgair. Sorry, Artemis, Silva, and Morgoth. You guys, you're walking just like you would normally walk, except that Sealgair, you notice that those three are subtly veering away from you guys, like towards the right. Like you're walking straight with Andal and Rasputin. You can hear the flap occasionally of the owl overhead, of Hootie overhead. There is no blowfish. But those guys over the last 10 minutes seem to have slowly gotten further and further away from you guys to the right. Like maybe what started off as like, maybe 2 or 3 feet away from you guys. They're now like 10 feet to the right.
I'm going to stop for a second and bring it to the other guy's attention. And then I'm going to try to get their attention, like yell at them, hey, where you going?
The 3 of you, you seem a little confused as to why she stopped and what she's talking about.
What do you mean? I mean, why are you over there?
You're veering off. Stay with us.
Oh,
What's going on?
As far as you three were concerned, you were staying with them.
Can I cast a detect good and evil or something like that? I mean, it probably won't do any good, but
Sure,
or
if you
detect
want.
magic.
You can try either of those things.
Lucky.
All right, so you detect good and evil. Detect aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet. None of that seems to be within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
These will detect evil and good.
Or object within 30 feet that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
None of those things, yeah.
Yeah.
None of that either.
Then I'll try a these are cantrips, by the way. Can I cast a that was evil and good, now
Yeah.
like general detect magic?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I need to check something because this comes
I think
from
the one goes away.
Yeah, one goes away. They're both they're concentration.
Concentration.
So, I'm just trying to check something real quick. Oh crap! That's why. Because I never put in the. All right, 1 second. I gotta look something up. Give me 1 second. Which order did you pick? The ghost?
I did evil and good first.
No. Sorry. Which order did you pick for your blood hunter? It was the Inquisition, right?
The Order of the Inquisition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they're technically not cantrips. You're just able to You're able to cast them because technically, detect evil and good.
At will.
It is a first level spell. Actually.
Yeah.
Same with detect magic. They're both first level spells. When you do the detect magic, there is actually give me a perception check.
Perception. Work.
I just couldn't remember where they came from. It wasn't.
Crap. Do I get advantage?
No. Looking around, there is something off. Like when you bring that detect magic up, something seems off with your vision. But you can't place your finger on it. You're not quite sure what it is.
I would like to go through Hootie's senses to see what they're talking about.
You want to go through what?
So, the owl senses to kind of see.
So the owl kind of goes around a little bit, and two things. First of all, indeed about due east, maybe not quite exactly due east, maybe a little bit south of where you're at. He sees the canopy of a large tree, like there's the trees that you've been walking by are anywhere from 20 to 50 feet tall. This tree, maybe 60 feet, 70 feet at the most. This tree is easily 100, maybe 150 feet, and massive canopy from it. So that's the first thing he mentions because it's very notable.
Right.
As far as the other part, he concurs. You guys have been veering off.
Are you veering towards the tree?
No, you guys are veering away from it. You three.
Okay, so Hootie sees the tree. I described the tree to our guide.
Yeah, he's like, yes, that is the right tree. Yes, we are heading towards it.
Actually, it's over there.
No, he literally is heading towards it. You're not.
So it's us that
you three are the ones that are veering away from it.
Oh, I misunderstood. Okay. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah. So I don't know why we get confused. I don't.
And then he kind of like, oh, yes, this is what happens every now and then. There's something that is strange about this place that it makes you just try to avoid it. This happened to me a lot of times.
Probably wisdom. Intelligence. Self-preservation.
It is very possible. Here, let us tie ourselves together with a rope. That way, if somebody starts to go off, I can at least pull you in the right direction.
There you go. That's a good idea.
That's what he suggests. I don't know if you guys want to do that, but that's what he's suggesting.
Well, I mean, until we get in combat and we can't get away from it, but yeah.
All right, so you guys kind of link up a bit with a rope. You guys have a rope, that's not a problem. And start heading off again. As you continue to head through the forest, you notice that the trees are again looking more and more stressed. And after about half an hour, 45 minutes or so, another thing I had here. You notice the trees are becoming like the trees around here are definitely have dropped leaves. They look like they've lost a lot of water, or they're missing nutrients, or something is causing these trees to look. They definitely, even to your natural one eyes, Artemis, look sick.
I'm gonna ask Sealgair, do you sense anything evil? There seems to be something or magical. I'll put my little eye thing in. I'm not using detect magic, but
yeah, you're just looking through it.
Yeah, my detect magic only lasts for 10 minutes. So
well, you can do.
I meant the.
You can do it again though. It's at will.
Has it been 10 minutes?
Oh, you've been like 30 minutes since then.
Okay.
But the thing you have at will.
Yeah, it's both of them. I'll do detect magic again.
Okay.
When
give me
when
another
he
perception
asked me the
roll.
question, another perception roll.
Yeah, once you do the detect magic, which you don't have to prop it up, we understand. Do another perception roll.
Really?
Can I give her help with that?
No, because you can't see with the magic.
Yeah.
I will say you look around again. Two things. The first thing, there definitely seems to be a very faint necromantic aura in some of the more sickly trees, some of the more sick trees. That's the first thing. Second thing is, again, there's still something like off with your sight.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to say
something just seems weird. And everybody, give me another wisdom saving throw.
Would it be kind of an intelligence thing after a couple times of doing perception
we'll
and like, would I?
Give me wisdom saving throw first.
Yep. Move out of the way, boy. Saving throw wisdom. Did it roll?
Yeah, it did. It just sometimes.
Okay. It just took a minute.
Here, I'll take your first one because.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say my first one was an 11.
It's fine. All right, so. All right, and I need you to Rasputin. Okay, sorry. Real quick.
Starting to affect me now too.
Okay. Wow. Rasputin is the savior here.
And that's the owl.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check, Sealgair. I will let you have that now that this has happened twice. Okay. Based on that, it suddenly dawns on you why your vision seems odd. Your entire vision is being tinted very slightly by enchantment. The whole area is enchanted. And so when you look around, your entire vision is slightly tinted as if you were looking through enchantment for everything, because the entire space permeates with a very, very, very low level of enchantment. Now, it's even more so than it was back before. Now that you know what you're thinking about, your vision is tinted just a little bit more now. So it's more strong here than it was, the half an hour ago. But there's definitely an enchantment that permeates the whole thing.
And do I know enough to recognize, for example, what type of magic or
enchantment?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So think of it as you're looking through a slightly amber color. Like if it was necromantic, it'd be a slightly purple color. If it was evocation, a slightly red color. That's what I'm getting at here. It's like your entire vision is tinted with
amber, and then around some of the trees, I see faint purple around the sickly trees.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna describe that to everybody, and tell them what's going on, and that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Based on that, can I use my Arcana to kind of guess how to counter this, or anything we can do? Some herb or something to?
You can
smelling
try.
salt?
You can try. You can give me an Arcana check. I mean, it'll be difficult because you're not
Yeah,
100%
no, I
sure
have
exactly
crappy.
which.
That's 17.
17's not bad. I would say that you think that whatever this enchantment is it's trying. Enchantment usually is either making something magical or possibly mind affecting, so charms. You
Right.
suspect maybe this is probably the latter more than the former, and you're not sure how to potentially avoid it. If you get a 20, I'd give you something, but
No,
17 is not enough. But you realize that this is probably some kind of charm.
So I will tell everyone that. We don't have a bard to counter charm, or the level for that matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be aware if you're seeing. Let us know if you're seeing unusual things, because it's probably an enchantment.
Vespucian says, I see you. This is not bad. We are almost there. There's like maybe 15 more minutes to make it to where we're going. Let us go.
Okay.
And he starts heading off in a direction. Here's what happens. Andal, Artemis, Silva, you three all follow right behind him. Start going directly with him. Morgoth, Sealgair, and the owl basically head south.
So
And
grab them on the rope.
they think they're following you. They head south,
So yeah, pull the rope and say, hey,
and suddenly the rope goes taut on everybody.
it's this way.
Hey.
Where are you going, Hootie? It's this way. You're the one who's over the tree is.
Hootie's like not attached to the rope. He
Yeah, I know, that's why I had to
continues to
telepathy.
fly around and understands that you wanted to come back, so it comes back, and it lands and like ooh.
Yeah.
Seems confused.
That way.
You guys continue to try to start, and every time those three all go in the wrong direction. I will allow those three to have another saving throw, though.
A wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving.
Oh, saves wisdom.
Well,
Yay!
Sealgair made that one. Give me Hootie and the Blowfish.
Give a hootie, don't pollutie.
Oh.
Hootie is
Damn it,
also
Hootie.
confused. So it's at this point, Artemis, that you realize probably what this charm is. It's confusion. It's intending to confuse your direction sense so that you do not head towards that direction.
Okay. Does this seem
you guys
really powerful? I mean, is this something like maybe we shouldn't go mess with this type thing?
You're not sure. I mean, it's permeating a large area, so that seems kind of concerning. But you know, it hasn't, like, only a couple of you have succumbed to it, so it's not exactly super strong. It's probably the best I can give you.
Okay.
It's concerning. Like, clearly something or someone doesn't want people to go this direction, this deep in the forest.
So yeah, let's not go in swinging, because I mean, it's something pretty powerful to have done this. This is probably definitely some type of portal.
So you're able to drag Morgoth along. He keeps trying to go towards the south, but you're able to keep dragging him along. And about 15 minutes later, you guys come into a place that kind of looks a little like this, and I'll give you a better description. Let me find my description here real quick. You notice as you get closer to this, as you get closer and closer to the large tree, and you can actually start to see even it through some of the branches because of how many dead trees there are kind of around it. you notice that there's a smell of decay. And you come upon a glade, and the glade has sort of a tri-level effect. So if you were to look at this map that I've got given on you, this level here is about 5 feet above this part down here. This level is another 5 feet above that, and then back here, this is sort of a hill that continues up. You see that the grass, the bushes, and trees around this glade are all dying. They're clearly sick. They're clearly dying. The great tree, which towers over everything, also looks to be somewhat sick, but not as far along as everything else here in the glade. Like, I put some trees in here, but consider them mostly yellow and sick, or no leaves, that sort of stuff on it. The bushes are similar. Right. You also see that basically what you think is probably a spring is here near the tree, and the water falls over down these 5-foot things into this runoff of sort of small little streams that kind of run away from it. And that's kind of what you see. Now the tree is huge. Like this is like a 10-foot wide or larger tree. Like the diameter of the tree is huge. And you can look up and you can see massive foliage above it. It's sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It's shading this entire glade. Like if you were to fly over top of this, you wouldn't see any of what you're seeing here on the ground. As you get a little bit closer, and so you're kind of on here, what do you guys want to do? You're on this map over in this corner. Rasputin's like, this is where the tree is. Maybe this is where the things have come from?
There's definitely something wrong here. Can you sense the corruption? Looking again at Shelley.
Sense what?
This, I would imagine, would be consecrated ground, or at least the L, or to the fairies.
So I'm gonna cast the detect evil and good. Am I close enough? I have to be.
It's also 30 feet.
Yeah, I have to.
You're not close enough to the tree for that, but you could still cast it and see if something shows up.
I mean, some of the little trees may show it too.
Are you going to do that or not?
Yep.
Right. So you bring that up. There are no within 30 feet. There are no celestials, and then none of those things. Also, don't feel like it's something is definitely odd though. Like the feeling doesn't go away. In fact, is intensified a little bit when you bring up the spell. Something is off.
Hmm.
Guess what I'm
do
saying
I do an Arcana roll?
There's no consecration or anything like that here, or at least within 30 feet. So remember, again, it's within 30 feet, so you really kind of limited.
Wait.
As you do that, though, as you're contemplating what you want to do, you guys notice that a creature kind of steps out of the tree. This creature looks like. Oops. Looks like this. However, there are some differences again.
Boobies.
It's the best boobies I can do in the thing.
This is a PG rated.
The woman that steps out is completely naked. She has long ears. But you can see there are veins of blackness that you can literally see through her body. And she steps out, and her eyes kind of have a bluish, greenish glow on them. And she says something in a strange tongue. She raises up her hand, and her visage becomes a little angry is probably the best way to say it, but a little darkened. And she's like, anybody know Silva?
Yep.
Let me see what I know.
Celestial, Common, Tellurian.
I may know Elven. But is that under features?
Should be under your languages. You have the languages thing, so Andal knows Common, Dwarvish, Thieves.
On your attribute page, on the rightmost column.
You know Druidic and Gnomish, probably Common as well. Morgoth knows Common and Dwarvish. Sealgair knows the one she mentioned. Silva knows common, draconic, dwarvish, and halfling. It is none of these.
Okay.
Rasputin looks very. You can see a bit of terror on his face.
Hold my hands up in peace and answer her in Druidic.
In which one?
Druidic.
Okay. Yeah.
We're here to help. We have no fight. We wish to help.
So you're what? I don't know. Let me get a. Oops, that's not what I wanted to measure.
I'm an easy target.
No, I'm just trying to figure out how far away you are. You guys are about 80 feet or so from her, from this creature. And so she strides forward a little bit, and it's on the top of here. And she cocks her head slightly when you speak in Druidic, and her visage doesn't really soften, but she says again in Druidic, "Why do you come here and disturb me?"
We are here to learn about the woods. There are unusual things going on here. We're here to gather herbs for medicines for our people, and there seems to be some type of magic on the forest that is making the trees sick. I am a doctor of sorts.
You're a doctor. Is there a doctor in the house?
Yep.
True doctor.
I mean, after all, Alchemist.
She seems perplexed a little bit, and she's like, "The last who came here were disposed of. Do not anger me. Do not deceive me." Give me a persuasion roll, because you're not trying to deceive her, but give me a persuasion roll.
Come on, let's roll good, guys. Son of a bitch. Which one came?
8.
Yeah.
She's like, "Your words do not ring true to me, as you bring one before me who has been here before."
Is that Rasputin?
He was our guide because he found unusual things.
He has attacked me, and you see her kind of grow a little bit. The tree behind her rustles, and suddenly
What did y'all do to her?
several pixies
They're
up here.
cut down trees. And she's a tree of a spirit.
So before, like, he's talking to Artemis is clearly talking to this girl, this woman, and she suddenly seems to get even more angry, and a bunch of pixies appear. Leave my domain and never come back. And then she kind of falls to one knee for a moment, and most of the pixies, like the pixie that's next to her, the ones that are here, kind of fly over to her as quickly as they can and kind of pick her up a little bit and help her back to her feet. She seems to sway a little bit for a moment before she gathers her balance back. What do you guys do?
I think it is causing you to be sick too. Rasputin in common, please back away. She is disturbed by you since you've been here before, and yeah, she's
all right. He's technically not on the map, but he moves back a ways. He seems actually relieved that you're telling him to back away.
Yes.
Anybody who's around here can give me a nature check.
Nature.
Natural. You know, there was a 19. But whatever. Fine.
This is why I don't play characters who rely on charisma.
Yeah. Wow. You're pretty sure that whatever is going on is affecting her as well. But you're not sure exactly how it's affecting her. I will give Shelly, Silva, and Artemis an Arcana check on this one too.
Come on. Really? I'd love for the first die to be the good one for once.
Hey,
Silva, you can do Arcana too. Wow, this is having a great day here on the rolling front.
Yep.
Sealgair, as part of your training, you know that the Order of Inquisition, the Chosen, have told you that all Fae must die, and so part of your training is to understand how to insidiously kill them, a painful death. And you know that cold iron poisoning takes a long time and is a very painful way to go for the Fae. The symptoms you are seeing, the black dark veins in the creatures before you, is one of the results of cold iron poisoning.
oh, did this have anything to do with the mine we were in?
You don't think so, but you know, it's hard to say. Like, the mine was way back on the other side of the lake.
Yeah. Guys, this is iron poisoning. This is really bad for Faye. I mean, really, really painful, long time bad.
How do we stop it? What causes it?
Iron.
You know that cold iron is what causes it, but for it to be this bad, you know that that she's had, that it has to be in contact in some fashion. Like, for it to be this bad at this point, like, you're not sure how long. Like, it could be a very small piece that's been here for months, or it could be a large piece that's been here for a week or two.
Yeah.
We think we, back in Druidic, know what's going on. Someone brought cold iron here.
She looks tired and she says, "No, I moved them. I disposed of them."
I think there must be one still, because it's still making you sick.
Where was it?
And then she kind of straightens up again for a bit. She says, one moment. She walks back through the water into the tree, merges back in with the tree. The pixies are. I'm not
Can
sure.
I roll Arcana?
Yeah, you can roll Arcana to see if you think this is.
Or if I know what.
Yep.
Come on!
You.
A 10 and a 17. Why do I even bother?
You think it might be a dryad? Yes.
Okay, I know they love their trees. Do they normally come?
Well, the pixies are staying. The pixies there are staying kind of defensive. They haven't attacked you guys,
right?
And you would assume that if they're going to attack, they're going to go invisible first anyway. But she goes into the tree, and for about 5 minutes, there's sort of this tense standoff between you guys before she comes back out. And now she looks more refreshed, less. The blackness in the veins has gone away slightly. You can still faintly see it under her skin, but she looks better. And she says, "Woodsman." She says this in Druidic. "Woodsmen came 2 weeks past. They sought to take down my tree. I fought them. 2 of them were killed and 1 got away. I moved their bodies of the 2 so that we would make sure that well, let me rephrase that. She says, for a few days I felt fine, and then 3 days later I started feeling sick. So I moved the bodies of the woodsmen away from my tree. Normally it would be used as compost, taken into my own body to sustain me for years. for some reason these men corrupted or sickened me. I moved their bodies away. Me and the pixies, me and my friends here, moved the bodies further away.
Can you
But it did
tell
not
us where
seem
the
to
bodies
help.
are?
Give me perception with or persuasion with advantage. You have advantage this time
I know.
because she's feeling well. See, that helped you.
Yes.
And she says,
See? Three.
"Yes, I can. We can here. Let me show you the bodies, or at least have my friends here show you the bodies."
Yes. I mean, I don't want you to get too close to them if it's hurt you already.
All right. So a couple pixies fly down towards you, and one of them says, speaks in Druidic, in this case because that seems to be what you're doing, and he says, "Follow me. We can show you where it is, but don't do anything that makes us concerned. We don't like funny business."
No funny business.
And he's got his bow out, and he's kind of, it's clearly a boy, a male pixie. He's like, "All right, this way." And theater of the mind here, they take you across the way, up this hill a bit, maybe about 250, 300 feet away from the tree, where you find two woodsmen's bodies that have been, it looks like they've been decomposing for maybe a couple weeks, is what you would guess.
And I would like to use medicine and examine them to see if there's
Loot the bodies.
Loot the bodies.
All
right, so you look through. Yeah, go ahead and give me the medicine. Looking them over. Yep, they're dead bodies. All right, they've been dead for a while. They've been dead long enough that the smell has kind of gone away a bit. It's not as pungent. So clearly they've been dead for a while. You can already see various small little creatures kind of digging in there and having their way with the men. They're still wearing their clothes and stuff like that they were wearing before. So, the typical woodsman's clothing and that sort of stuff. One of them has the haft of an axe, kind of with it, like, and the pixie's like, "Yeah, we moved that too. Wouldn't want it close to the thing. We just try to move all of their stuff with them." The other one doesn't seem to have one, but you don't see any axe heads amongst them at all.
So maybe we should check the original site where they fell for those axes. Maybe the axes are made of iron.
Well, or it's stuck in the tree.
Yeah.
We just have to. She has to allow us to do that. I mean, I can understand why that would be.
Well, and he's like, "I don't know about that. We should go talk with her." "No funny business. Are you done looking here?"
Yeah.
Can we take the bodies further away? I know it was probably.
You can if you want. I mean, they're 2 weeks to decompose, so they're a little bit, like it'd be better to kind of scoop them up in something and take them that way.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not touching them.
Oh, I will. I'm not.
All right. As you kind of pick them up and start doing this stuff, some coins fall out of the partially rotted stuff.
Yeah. Pick up the coins. Can someone get the coins? They're metal also.
Yeah, they're silver though.
I know, but it's more noble than saying, "Hey, get the money so we can use it later."
You find
loot the bodies.
No. You find like I think it was 10 silver between the two of them. So not a lot of money on them. And some other typical things like a pocket knife, a ring that's not really worth very much to anybody, but maybe a couple gold at most. Things of that nature. You don't find a lot of things on them. That's kind of it. I mean, where do you want to move them to? And remember, Rasputin.
I was just about to say, can we make sure? Can someone go back and move Rasputin further back because they've seen them before? They went to take them home, like make up a story. So he's already terrified, but so he won't come and see us moving his friends' bodies.
Oh, you're not even sure they're his friends. It could be somebody else.
Well, I know, but it is a possibility.
I did forget one other thing. Yeah, Sealgair and Silva, Morgoth. You also, with your nature check, I should have told you this the first time. The big tree is ironwood. It's an ironwood tree. Ironwood is highly prized for the fact that it is super strong, as strong as iron.
But it doesn't have iron in it.
It doesn't have iron in it. It's completely organic. It is highly prized as a lighter alternative to iron for things like weapons and armor. And a tree of this size, worth a fortune.
Well, but would it require something like iron to cut it?
Yeah, I mean, iron can cut it, but it's not easy. Like, it's not easy to cut through ironwood. Usually, it's specialized tools and things like that.
I will move the bodies away from the water source and downstream.
Yeah, they already are sort of away from the water source, but you can move them further if you wish.
So
you're moving them further away. And the pixies, one stays with the rest of the group while the other one kind of covers you going down, makes you, like, when he sees that you're starting to move away, he kind of just stays back. And the two pixies kind of talk to each other in their language a little bit at first, and then they seem to relax just a smidge as you move everything kind of further away.
Okay.
How far away? How much further away do you want to move it?
Just in my Arcana check, what do I think would be a reasonable?
So, I mean, if what Sealgair is telling you is true with cold iron, what you've seen on the bodies should not be corrupting. There's no iron there. You're not finding any iron.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how far away you move them. So
okay.
As far as what you can think of with that Arcana check.
And the weapons, I mean, the axes and stuff.
Like I said, all you found is the shaft of one axe. You found no axe heads.
Didn't find the other one and the head.
Yep.
So I have a theory.
So you come back.
Yes, come back. Sorry.
That's all right.
May I examine? And I've got I pulled up my little eyeglass for detect magic. The tree. I will put all my weapons down.
We must talk to the mistress. We must talk. Yeah.
Yes. Of course.
No, we must go back. No. She's the only one who can say. So go. They start kind of pushing you, pointing you towards going back towards where you originally came in.
Okay.
Making it back there, you can see the darkness in the Dryad's veins has started to become more intense again. Doesn't seem to take very long. Like you were gone for maybe 30 minutes max. I mean,
gotcha.
Moving the bodies is what took most of that time further. So she's looking a little peaked again. And she says, "Did you find what you're looking for?"
Oh.
They are missing
Druidic.
In Druidic. I tell them what you said, but they're missing the cutting, the metal, the actual iron of the head and one of the axes. It could still. Did they actually cut into your tree?
They were able to get closer than anyone before, and somehow they were able to make it through my confusion. And so I was unable to. I was away, unable to protect the tree initially, but the first strike, the searing pain, the anger.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
she kind of sways a bit again. She says, I can show you where, but all of my pixies will be watching you. And her visage starts to darken again. Like,
okay.
Think of when her visage darkens, think of, Galadriel in Lord of the Rings when she's like, I could have ultimate power, kind of.
Yeah, that was one scary witch.
That's kind of the way it looks when she starts to get more angry.
Okay.
So all the pixies come down.
Do you need to rejuvenate yourself in your tree?
And she goes. She nods slowly, and then she heads back into the tree. So she goes into the tree, but all the pixies are surrounding you, Morgoth, and no one else is being allowed up. Like 3 of them are all kind of watching the other one, and then 5 of them are kind of
That's what I call respect.
Not Morgoth. I mean,
Oh,
Artemis is the only one who can go up. The rest of you are basically being told to stay.
they don't know that I was the main killer of their friends.
Oh, one of them does.
Eh.
Two of them,
Yeah, don't
technically, two
remind
of
them
them
of
do
that.
actually, because two of them got away. Artemis, you're taken up to the tree, and give me an investigation check as you look around the tree.
Oh, come on. I was going to say, can I cast before? Well,
You can
too late.
say, do you want to cast something before you?
I was going to cast Detect Magic and look at the energy flow. And
Okay, you can cast
see
Detect
if I
Magic.
can see what's being
So
disrupted.
you look around first, and
Yeah.
nothing. Like, it's been 2 weeks. If there was a cut in this tree, you're not seeing it anywhere. So we'll start there. You then do Detect Magic, and start looking around the tree, and you can see the purple veins in this tree. You can see the purple necromantic magic that is permeating not the whole tree, but it seems to be in like veins, lines up through the tree. And you can see that there does seem to be they seem to be all converging in two places. The first one seems to be in a root here. Oops. Do this. In this root over here.
Mhm.
You're not exactly sure where. Again, we'll have to do an investigation check. The other one seems to be under the water, back behind.
Okay, let me look under the water first.
right.
Maybe that's the axe.
All right, so getting over towards that, the water here is maybe about 3 feet deep at maximum. It's not super deep, but it is interesting because like these flows here are pretty. I mean, there's water coming out of the spring at a pretty decent rate. Just as an FYI.
Okay.
All right, so give me an investigation check again.
Can I get advantage because I got my Detect Magic?
Yes, I will allow that. That's not reasonable. You look around and
Still a
kind
lesser roll.
No, you had advantage.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you said I said yes.
I
for
know,
Detect
you
Magic.
gave it to me.
You can
I
have-
just think it's funny. That always
so
lesser
looking
roll
around
first.
over in this spot, you eventually find in the muck under there. So because of how much water is coming out here, there's sort of a swirl. I mean, it's somewhat clear through here, but you find that embedded in another root down there, you can feel a big piece of metal with your hands. And give me a strength check to pull it out because it's embedded.
And I want to use my staff. Not a staff, or I have a club. I'm going to use it to pry it out. To help me pry it out.
Okay, I'll give you
I have
advantage on it then.
Okay. And actually, I'm going to rage
Okay.
for a productive way.
Well, then you
Give
definitely get
myself
advantage on
+2.
it because it's an ability. It's a strength ability check, so you definitely get advantage.
Oh, that's true. I don't need to. Well, okay.
You can rage, it's fine.
Oh, come on. Still. I think I get a +2 for raging. What's my rage? And it's up here. Hold on. I think rage gives me a plus.
So
It gives me plus on damage.
I don't think it gives you a plus to. You get the advantage, which is where the bonus comes from.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again. I mean, I'll just keep it
All right,
until
so
I get it out.
you're gonna try. You try it again. Give it another shot.
That's a little better.
All right. So with that roll, you kind of pry it out, and pull it up to the surface.
Okay.
And it is an iron axe head. Feels very tempered. Or it looks very tempered, I shouldn't say. It doesn't feel. And you notice there is something carved. There's something carved into the axe head itself. Strange looking, jagged script of some sort.
Can I read it, or is it just?
That's a good question. I think the answer might be no.
I would figure. I think it's probably gonna be that church.
The answer
thing, but...
is no. You cannot read it.
Okay.
It's
I
a very
show them-
odd looking thing. You're the only one up there. There's multiple.
No,
there's
no.
like
I mean, I show the fairies
the
and
pixies. All right.
pixies and dryads.
When you pulled that thing out, the entire tree shuddered as well.
Okay.
So that's the first one. There's another one.
I show it to him, and I'm taking it away.
Right. You
And
just
I'm
put it in
giving
a
it to
pouch or something.
Sildar?
It's an axe head, so it could fit in a pouch of some sort.
Okay. What?
Or at
Okay.
least, you could put it in your backpack. You can put it somewhere, is all I'm saying.
I'll do that.
All right.
So I bring my owl down to help give me senses to see where.
Well, like I said, you already knew where this one. You know that there's something here and something high.
Yeah,
up
I'm
in
going
here.
to the root now.
Yeah.
To see.
Well, the other one was embedded in a root too. It's just that root was under the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go for the root.
All right. So you're going to try this one. Give me another investigation check with advantage, because again, your detect magic is on.
15.
15 is enough. You find that other one. That one's not as embedded in as deeply, so give me you don't need to give a strength check on that one. You're able to just rip it out, and the tree shudders again. As soon as you do those two things, you can see that the purple is still there, but it is starting to dim a little bit. Like it almost immediately starts to dim a little bit, but it's still there.
Okay. Do I see it anywhere else? Examining the rest of the
You're
tree?
looking anywhere else. It does not look like there's any other source of where this is coming from. So you think you have it all? I mean, there was only 2 men here with axes.
Right.
Well, technically, she said there was 3, so, but only 2 that died.
Let me take these back.
All right, so you head back to
dispose
everybody
of it.
else, and he brings back these 2 axe heads. Do you want to show
And
them?
I'll show Shelgar. Is this one of the weapons that you were talking of?
Shelgar, give me a intelligence check. You can use history, intelligence history.
Oh boy. Roll well, my friend. Roll well.
11. You're not sure. The script is a little odd, and unfortunately you can't read it, so you're not sure. It definitely looks like something that the order might have concocted, but you're not 100% sure.
Would any of the pixies volunteer to touch it to see if they react?
Oh no.
They will not
No.
in the
Don't.
slightest. That being said, Silva, something's familiar about that script. I mean, you're looking it over, like Shelgar's holding it and trying to look at it, but everybody can kind of look at it. It's not like, unless Shelgar is just trying to hold it and not let anybody see it, which I don't believe is the case. So,
I'll try and read it.
Where someone had 3 languages?
You are pretty sure. No, this is not that game. That's Praedyth, another game. That is a form of Draconic, but it's a form you haven't seen in a long, long time.
Am I able to decipher it? Like, if I spend time,
read
could I
enough
decode
of it
it?
to realize, as you start to read it, you stop because you realize it is a dark form of Draconic. It is intended to call forth dark magics.
Oh. Oh no. Let's keep that.
What is it?
It's dark magic. Dark dragon magic. So even more fun.
Well, Draconic just happens to be the language of.
Oh, okay.
Draconic happens to be
that's
hold on. Let me add to this. Draconic happens to be the language of wizards and their spells.
So dark magics. Yeah. I'll put it in my pack. I'm keeping it.
All right. Silva basically says, "Yep," and puts it in her pack.
This is pretty bad.
At about this time, the
Exactly.
Dryad comes out again.
Yeah.
She's looking better, again, and she's like, "I felt you remove something." Intrigue.
I'm sorry for the pain. These were weapons designed. It sounds like
No. This is the tree spoke in terms of relief and thanks. You have my gratitude.
I'm honored to help and for your gratitude.
How can I help you? You said you have helped me so much.
We have. I'm sure you know, humans have been here to gather herbs for medicines. And
Oh,
that
not
kind
this far, no. The
of.
enchantment
Good,
tends to
good.
keep most of them away. I'm still trying to understand how these woodsmen got here in the first place.
One of my companions recognized in the meadow was a language, um, draconic, which is used to call forth evil magics.
I
I'm
know
afraid.
nothing of these things.
Okay, I'm afraid
She
this
just
was
says that.
intentional. Yes.
Oh, well then.
They're trying. They're trying to get you, or to get this tree anyway. I don't know who it is, but they have magic. So that is.
Well, I will have to
Probably
increase the power of my enchantments then.
I would advise that. I'm sorry. Some humans or some others are just evil. But no, is we're just looking out for these herbs for the medicine. If we could, if you know where they are, so we won't disturb anything else.
So the pixies kind of scatter. You're not sure why. Like they just scatter and disappear. And it's now just you and the dryad.
Was it something I said?
No.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to be drawn into the tree, am I? I've heard these stories.
She's like, no, I would not do such a thing.
No, that was in my head.
No. I mean, you don't think it's related to that. You just, I mean, maybe she feels that she doesn't need their protection anymore. Well, which plants are you looking for?
And
Belladonna.
I'll list them.
Belladonna, that is. She seems to recognize that word, and she says to you, "Your friends are very bloodthirsty."
Some of them, yes.
Belladonna is not something I would necessarily say you should be taking too much of.
I list the ones for the medicines first.
So the people, the one who, the original guy who you talked to wanted bitterroot. Well, okay. Kalani wanted bitterroot. That's all she wanted. The herbalist in Tanelvar wanted bitterroot, belladonna, lenormand, and white bryony. That's what he wanted. You just happened upon Velier's tears. Like, that's just something you didn't, like, you just happened to see it in that one particular glade. But nobody was asking for it.
Okay, I'll just
one thing you know that you want, that you think is actually in this wood because you've heard about it, is cinder petals. That's something you want. You personally.
I will definitely put that towards the top then.
And then those are the ones you know of. Like, you never talked to the herbalist in Arkenwood, so I'm not going to tell you what those other ones were. But the reason why you want cinder petals, which you believe are here somewhere, is that they are, when added as a material component to a fire spell, they basically create the effects of an empowered spell. Which means you can re-roll the number of dice equal to spellcasting modifier.
I will.
But they are a thing that you'll have to add to the thing. Like, you only have a certain number of doses. Yeah, kind of thing.
Kind of like a poison, apply poison to a weapon, except
yeah, exactly.
I will ask, can you tell me? Well, no, I won't ask that. I was going to ask for how to hide people out there. Fear mad. There's a group of a church. They hunt people who use magic, and I show my staff, and I kind of take it out of its sleeve or whatever.
No, you don't have the sleeve yet. You didn't bring it with you. It's still back in.
Oh, so I didn't bring the staff at all? Okay, so I won't mention it.
Yeah, remember, it was still back. He had to make it. It was going to take a few days. So you ended up coming to Arkenfalls without the staff.
Yeah. Is there a way you know of that I could disguise and hide relics that we find? Similar to how you...
My misdirection is inherent in my abilities. I don't know of any way to replicate that for a particular object. Unfortunately, this is just who I am, not something I can do.
I understand. I'm sure.
It's not the right word to put it, but
the beauty of the forest, your beauty.
And I'm sorry, that is not something I help, but I can direct you to where you can find those herbs if you wish.
That is excellent. Are the one who had been here before lost friends? I don't know if those were. I don't think they were just woodsmen. I don't think those are the ones who came and hurt you. Did you know? Is everyone dead? I mean, I understand you were defending yourself, so. But is there a chance his friends are alive?
Those two are dead. The third one was able to escape.
Well,
I do not know where he went. He was a tallish man, gray skin.
He wasn't the one we were with, was he? He isn't the one.
I'm part of. She's like, my memory is somewhat missing of the event. I know some things and not others.
I will investigate. Well, thank you, the woodsman.
She basically will. The gist of it is she will do two things. She will have some. The pixies over the next 10 minutes start coming back with some of the herbs.
Excellent. I was hoping to do that, but
that was why they disappeared, not because of anything else. So you get 10. You'll get what is the equivalent of 10 doses of cinder petals. You get another. You had already found some bitterroot, but you now get another dozen roots of bitterroot.
Okay.
The Lenormand is a yellow fruit about the size of a plum. That one you get basically that one you get like 3 of them, but the pixies, as soon as they give them to you, they disappear and head off again. So you suspect that they're probably going to give you more.
Okay.
And then the white bryony, they provide provide like the entire plant to you. You know that all you need is the root for what the herbalist wanted, but they provide you with the root, some red berries, and some white flowers on the stem, greenish white flowers, and you get a dozen of those as well. So in the end, you have 6 Lenormand plums or Lenormand fruit, a dozen bryony, a dozen bitterroot, plus what you had before, which I think was about a dozen, and 10 doses or 10. What will be the equivalent of 10 things of cinder petals.
Okay.
They do not provide you with any more belladonna.
I figured. Do I know? Are there any ways?
While they're waiting, if you wish to talk to Rasputin and do your investigation, you can.
Yeah, I would. Let's. I will ask. Do I know of any way to raise these herbs in a controlled, balanced place?
You're not. I mean, you could try. I'm not saying that you've never tried. Like alchemically, most of the time, in your experience so far, you've just went out and bought the items that you needed from various places. Now, remember, before this last few months, you've been either training to be an alchemist or working with a patron who has money. So you haven't really had a need to try to do any of these sorts of things. Again, it's a thing we can discuss as downtime stuff if you wish to try to start figuring out.
Okay, I was gonna ask for seeds, if that's the case. If I could, maybe some seeds from whatever plants that I might be able to raise.
Well, I mean, that it's probably the Lenormand, the Lenormand.
Yeah, I'm sure they had the seeds in them.
Yeah, that fruit probably has a seed in it, so you could probably just keep one of the fruits and try.
Okay.
And Lenormand is also another one of those things that's used for healing. So, it can be used in place of Valir's Tears.
By your leave, I'm going to back with my friends, and we're going to talk to our guide to see if he was one of these, or if he knows of them. If he knows someone, perhaps there's a town, a home near here where many people live. Maybe he saw them coming through. So I would investigate.
We are still waiting on some things from the pixies anyway, so take your time.
Thank you. So yeah, I go back.
She actually heads back into the tree.
Oh, I don't blame her.
Right. So you head back.
Yeah,
You guys
I'll
have
go
been.
back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I explained to what's going on. Everybody but Rasputin is not there.
Yeah, he's
I
not quite
explained
there
that.
yet, but I mean, you guys can go back to him.
So, we kind of need to know if he was part of it, then his friends are dead. If he wasn't part of it, then maybe he knows where they are because there's still one who escaped, and maybe we can find his friends still. Maybe they're still lost or something in confusion. But
Okay.
I'm sure she won't help if he was one of the attackers.
All right, so you mention all that to everybody else. What are you guys doing?
Yes.
You guys doing?
So, yeah.
Other people can talk too. Andrew, Brian, Cole, what are you guys doing? What's everybody doing? Are you gonna go back and talk to Rasputin?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, it's probably
This is a
for
good
the
idea.
best.
All right, so you guys head back a bit into the forest where you had taken Rasputin back to. He's kind of pacing back and forth. He looks agitated. He looks up as you guys come. He's like, "Oh, did you find anything?" Not all
Quite
of
a
you at
lot,
once.
Yeah, quite a lot actually.
Oh, I see.
Well, Raspy Buddy, we need to have a talk.
Oh, why is this? Did you find my friends?
Potentially.
Yeah.
They may help us. Do you recognize this axe?
You show him the axe head, or
The axe head.
he looks at it for a moment, and then he like shakes his head. He's like, "No, I've never seen such a thing."
Anyone else want to speak up? Okay, so this is why the woods have been riled up. Something attacked them with this. This is evil magic. One of them escaped. We might be able to get her to look for your friends. Use the fairies to find them. Maybe they're just confused potentially by all this magic and the wandering around.
Definitely
As long as
all
they aren't
dark
the people who
magic.
did this.
I don't know why you would think that I would know anything about this.
I'm asking. I mean, someone could have come to insight to see if he seems to truthfully not know anything about this,
All right.
or I'll
Give me-
help someone
give me
with
an
a
insight
much better
check.
insight than me.
I mean, well, insight
I
is
will
personal to
insight
everybody.
him.
Okay.
There is no advantage on that. You have to. It's all
I'll
personal.
insight it.
Yeah, there are things where you can help each other. You can't help each other with insight.
Am I allowed to roll my own insight?
Yeah, everybody does roll their own insight. They're not allowed to do their own, or if you want to do insight.
Yeah, I would
And
like
Will,
to do
you just
insight.
step to the restroom.
Yeah, Morgoth and Andal, for sure. He seems to be covering something. Silva, guy is the most truthful guy you've ever seen in your
Yeah,
life.
right as rain.
Friar,
He's good, guys. He's clean.
Artemis, you're also not sure that he's. It seems like he's probably being honest about it. Shelley, definitely he's holding something back. He seems agitated. He seems to, in fact, at this point in time, it suddenly realizes for you, Shelgar, because you got such a high roll, that when he saw the axe initially, his eyes actually widened slightly.
You want to try that again, dude?
I don't know
This
what you're
time-
speaking of. Try
Yeah,
what again?
Telling us the truth?
My friends are missing. This is the
Ah.
truth.
About the axe.
What about the X? It is an X.
No, the question was, and we know you're being dishonest, or at least holding something back, which is another form of dishonesty. Lie by omission is still a lie. It's still deceptive behavior.
This is pretty rich coming
Please.
from Shelgar, but anyway.
I know, right?
I tried to intimidate
Hey,
him.
Turning over a new leaf.
No, it's just
I
funny.
know.
It's funny.
No,
It's just
no.
funny. It's pretty funny.
I know. That's why I know.
I know, it's just funny.
That's when you know.
He kind of looks at the groups of you and he's like, "Fine, I am the third woodsman. My friends and I came here. Just wanted the wood from the tree. I did not realize that it was home to such a beautiful creature.
Okay, I want an insight to see if he really means a beautiful creature for it.
Okay.
You can't just come in and take anything you want.
Hey, you're not Americans. Oh, sorry.
He, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I just thought.
Insight.
Yeah, no. And all he seems to be telling the truth here. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he seems generally like he wasn't intending for anything bad to happen.
Where did you get this axe? So where did you guys get the axe?
These axes were given to us.
Bye.
He just there's like a sort of a fallen over log from one of the trees that has fallen over. He kind of collapsed, thumps down on top of it. He's like, we figured out where we spent several months. From certain vantage points, you can see the top of this tree in the forest. Bro. And
can't make you do anything.
What are you talking about? And from certain vantages, you could see the top of the tree. So we spent months trying to find it until one of my friends found a way to suggested we try to approach it from different places. And so we finally figured out where it should be in the forest based on looking at it from different areas of the forest. But every time we would go towards the tree where we knew it would be at, we would never go there. We would always find ourselves at the edge of the forest again. So we had given up on finding this tree, knowing that it would mean we would be set for life. A month ago. Sorry, that was a month ago, was where we finally figured it out. A couple weeks ago, while we were in the Misty Tap. No, sorry, the Thirsty Wench. Sorry, my bad. We were approached by a man we had never seen before. He said he had heard of our predicament and that for a small cut in the profit from the wood, he would provide us with some equipment which might help. His cut was going to be minuscule in comparison to what this tree, size of this tree, and what it could be. So we took it. We took him up on it. He gave us 3 axes with heads like this. When we asked about the strange writing on it, he said these were runes, dwarven runes that would counteract the enchantment and allow us to get to the tree. Feeling that we had nothing that was probably correct. We don't know anything about these magics. We headed towards the tree and we made it. We went straight to it. Our mind was never clouded. With our good luck, we immediately laid into the tree. And unlike normal axes against ironwood, this axe also bit in more deeply than we had ever seen. And it was after the second or third blow when we noticed that the tree itself was trembling and shaking. And out came the woman that you were talking to. And then the buzzing filled the air. Buzzing, confusion and blood, and then they attacked us from all sides. And I ran as fast as I could. There was no reason for me to be here anymore. I don't know what happened to my friends. And clearly they must have been cut down. I made it home.
No pun intended.
I made it home and I hid the axe away so that no one would find it. And then I forgot about it. Well, I didn't forget, but I just didn't speak of it. Until someone started to mention that there was strange spirits in the forest. And then I thought maybe it had something to do with us. But I wasn't sure.
You were correct. You need to give us that axe.
In return, I will give it to you.
And never come here again because they know you. You wanted
I will
to kill
not be
you.
able to come here. I told you before, every time we have tried,
But
we
you had a
cannot
plan.
make it.
I would advise you never try again. But the man who gave you the axes, how are you going to give him his cut?
He would find us again, I'm sure. I never really got that far into the dealings, which is a little strange, actually.
Can you give us a description of the man?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you remember what he looks like?
I do.
Stepping away to just for a second get a drink, y'all.
Yeah, we're probably going to take a break in about 15 minutes anyway. He was a bald man. He had a patch over his left eye, with a puckered scar on either side, as if he had taken a blow to it. He wore leathers as if he was a woodsman, but his sword seemed a bit too fine a weapon for the typical woodsman, so we just assumed he was a wood merchant or something of that nature. He seemed to always wear gloves, but one time he had taken them off, and on the back of his right hand I saw a tattoo. It was a stylized lion's head. And he quickly pulled his gloves back on when he noticed me looking at it.
Do you recognize, the description?
Give me an intelligence history check.
Can I also give one?
Yep, you can try.
History check. Intelligence history.
Humble doesn't know Jack.
Where's history? I also do not know anything.
Shelgar,
I have
as
never met
soon
him.
as he, as he was describing the man and the bald and the bright patch and the puckered string, you were kind of like, that sounds
I have a
somewhat
guess.
familiar. But as soon as he mentions the tattoo, you go white, even more white than you normally are.
Oh, shit.
Because he has just described Grim. And Grim is a myth amongst the Order. You actually didn't believe until right now that he even existed. That he was just like the boogeyman, meant to give some who are
Baba Yaga!
meant for those who are sort of
John
uncertain of their choice to be in the Order, sort of a way of keeping them in line by saying, well, the Grim will come after you, versus those who are steadfast in loyalty, giving them sort of a goal to achieve. Be like the Grim. Take everyone out.
In a daze, I'm gonna half collapse on the nearest log, and it's true.
Look at
This
her trying
will
to
be
catch
my
her.
fate. He will come for me too.
You know that he has been associated with the death of some of the most powerful diary wizards and sorcerers to walk the Nyarvine archipelago, including those who have been dead for over 500 years.
Wow.
So the fact that he would probably
you're
have
saying
some
he's
part of
aged
this.
well.
What seems even more odd about this is that the fact that he would have taken part in something that is this out of the way in backwater seems strange. Why would he? What about this particular thing? What about this would interest him or the church? This is some dryad tree in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, it is a fae,
It is a fae. That is also true.
so that could be part of a reason. They really do not like them.
Anyway, that's all in Shelgar's head.
Oh, nice.
As she kind of collapses to the ground in front of you guys, she looks more white than normal, which is saying
What?
something because she's.
I'm in
Did you tell
Shelgar's
us
head.
all this, Sugar?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I don't right away, but when you look at me and ask me and notice what I'm doing, then I start telling you everything.
So, John, were you here? Did you hear it?
I heard the latter part of it, yes.
So this is the.
It's the big bad.
Yeah,
Or
well,
one of the big bads.
it's not a big bad. It's a mythical Inquisitor. Like most people think that he doesn't exist, but in fact, people outside of the Order of Inquisition do not know he exists because, I mean, why would they? But in the Inquisition, he's mythical.
And he's relatively close by then.
Oh,
He said
maybe
it was like a month?
Maybe about a couple weeks ago. He said this happened a couple weeks ago. All right, what are you guys doing? Oh, you should continue. Sorry.
I was going to say something, but the dog stopped her. Anyone? I've got ideas, but you guys, please. Actually, I'm going to
We
go
need
back.
to get that axe fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you have 2 of the heads. Remember, there were 3 of them. So Rasputin
we
said
need
he
one.
hid the 3rd one. So you just need to get
Yeah,
back.
So we
need
need
the-
him.
Need those axes. We need to get rid of them.
So his is the only one we don't have?
Yeah, we have the 2 other
There's
heads.
2 other ones that were embedded in the tree.
Okay. Did he tell us where it was? Or
No, he
Maybe
said he hid
forgotten.
it somewhere. When he got back, he hid it somewhere. But he
He
did
said
say
that
he'll
we
get
would-
it for you when you get back.
Yeah.
okay.
I think right now we're just waiting for the pixies to finish giving us our stuff. And then we're gonna.
I'll go back to the pixies on while you guys do this, and I'll take the. Well, actually, I'll keep what I have, and
All right.
Go can keep her axe.
All right. So Silva took one.
Whoever.
Yeah, Silva took one and pocketed it after she read the stuff. It was like, whoa, dark magic in my backpack.
Yeah.
Magic. Cool.
That's not going to go bad one day. That's not going to come back and haunt us.
No.
Well, it's interesting.
A necromantic book. Oh, let's let them have that.
My book now.
Mari. What a time.
All right, so you head back, and you basically, like I said, you get a few more fruits of the Lenormand, and that's about it. What are you guys discussing, or do you just watch Rasputin until he comes back?
So we have multiple of these books too.
Which books?
The book that I have.
I don't know what book that is.
The book with or was that the axe head?
The axe head. The draconic is carved into the axe head.
Ah, okay.
As if it was like dwarven runes. Like if you put dwarven runes into an axe head to magic it. This was done with with dark draconic runes instead.
Okay.
So it's in the axe head. It's not a book. It's an actual piece of iron axe head metal with this carved into it.
Do I feel that if I can decipher it without any of the bad stuff? Like, I'm not trying to say.
Yeah,
I just want to know
when you
what
started
it says.
to read it and things like that, again, sort of a Lord of the Rings thing. Think of it like when Gandalf starts speaking in the dark tongue at the Fellowship of the Ring table. Like things start to feel dark and all that sort of stuff. So even just reading it starts to do that to you. At least to you. If you were to read it out loud, you would expect the same thing to happen. This is a dark language.
Gotcha.
Like it is intended for dark dealings and things of that.
Well, if someone of non,
like,
well, they can't read it anyway.
Give me an Arcana check, and I'll potentially give you some more information.
Okay.
Of what you know about it.
Yeah. Well, give me some.
10. You, from your training as an artificer, for the most part, you don't know a lot about this. The only reason why you know it's Draconic is because you can read Draconic. And this is a form of Draconic. It's just think of it as a dialect, where it was written like, there's sort of the good dragon's dialect of Draconic. There's sort of the evil dragon's dialect of Draconic. Not that there's good and evil in this world, but you know what I mean. Dark dragons, light dragons, whatever you want to call it. And so this is the darker version of it. This typically, from what you understood, or at least in the book that you caught this in, was one paragraph. This is typically used to summon demons and devils and to bind them. Necromantic magic typically uses this dialect of Draconic. That sort of stuff. That being said, certain words, certain one-word spells use this dialect as well. So power word kill, power word stun, power word like if you were to say the word for a particular letter or a particular rune, in theory it could kill someone.
Okay.
Not that you see that rune here, but in amongst the stuff. But
Gotcha. Okay. Well, That's fun.
You assume
So
that when this is an assumption on your part. I shouldn't make you allow you to assume, but you figure that this is the type of stuff that the Church of Seer is trying to eradicate.
yeah,
So it's a little odd that
it's
Shelgar
so
mentions that
easily
this might
gotten.
be somebody from her order, which is part of the church.
Well, did she say that that was the person that did it, or the person that came in after? Because I
Rasputin
thought they.
described this person as the person who gave them the axes.
Ah, right. Okay.
And Shelgar already knows a bit about what's going on.
Okay.
Based on what she's told you, she's been killing kids and things like that who show power.
Do I think we can, like, we've already kind of removed the curse that's coming in here just by taking the axes out, but if we destroy them, would that remove it permanently? All three of them? Do I think that?
Not necessarily. Like, who had somebody had the high arcana check on something. You believe that just removing them is probably good enough.
Okay.
Like, it's going to take time because the poison is in the system. So, like anything, you've removed the poison, or you've removed the source of the poison, and now it's just got to flush out.
Can I get them on a cleanse?
Yeah, a nice seaweed cleanse.
Yeah, something like that. Something good. Something to get the toxins out.
I mean, just removing them is probably going to be good enough in this case.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So you guys, the Dryad, who over the course of speaking with her while you're waiting, Marcus, Jesus, Artemis, you find out her name is Neara.
Okay.
And she again thanks you for your help, and she provides you with a 3-foot long by about 6-inch diameter piece of ironwood.
Oh.
She says, "This has fallen from the tree. I give it to you freely. Use it for what you will. Thank you again." Basically, the size of that particular piece probably could be used to make scale mail and a longsword or something like that.
Oh wow!
So it's enough to make quite a bit, to make a couple of things.
You say a longsword with that?
Yeah, you could make a longsword out of it. And scale mail and a longsword. Like, there's enough there for a couple of items. So if you want to make 2 longswords, you probably could make 3 longswords out of it. If you want to make scale mail and maybe some chain mail, you probably could do that. That's kind of.
Thank you.
Could I use would ironwood enhance my gun in any way?
Sure, if you tried to make a barrel out of it, probably be an enhancement. It would definitely make the gun lighter. Yeah, it would probably do something.
I might want to try that.
Well, we can definitely experiment with it.
You know that ironwood is fire resistant, so.
Yeah, definitely want to try and make a gun out of ironwood. Okay.
That's on mute. She had a question.
How much do you think we could sell it for?
The ironwood?
Let's not
Do you
sell
think
it.
we can make ironwood arrows out of it?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, she probably could. About 1,000 gold pieces worth.
Oh, wow.
We don't need money. We got money. This is way more valuable for us to use. Or this is way more valuable for us to use. Yeah, still wasn't the voice. Close enough.
Yeah, I don't want to sell it either. I'd like to make something.
Yeah, I would
I
definitely like to
sell it.
fashion a gun out of it. We've got other things that we can make.
Ironwood bow or something?
Yeah, I would say that well, a bow probably not, because it's not the right piece of wood.
Yeah,
for that.
it's not bendy. It's supposed to be very.
Yeah,
tough.
you need an ironwood sapling would work better for an ironwood bow, to be honest. But but like, this is probably, like, you can make ironwood arrows, but again, this is not the right piece for that. You'd have to whittle quite a bit of away. This is really more, this piece of log basically is really more intended for things like armor or weapons. Or melee weapons is what it's more intended.
Gotcha.
That being said, there is a small piece that comes out of it, which you could probably use for a gun barrel, Silva.
Yeah, I definitely want to use that.
Because again, you want to take a piece and just kind of drill it in.
Yeah, hollow it out.
So in Druidic,
Mhm.
I would like to tell Neara that we just found out our guide was one of the people here and explain to her what happened. There's some too late, and we're going to get the other axe.
Please
But if
do
you
so.
see him near your woods again or near here, I would kill him.
Would kill him now, but you have vouched for him.
We have to find the axe, the weapons that can hurt you.
It's
You've
very
got one left.
Very fair. Sometimes I think too quickly for these things.
And perhaps he says he, seen the beauty of your tree and would never do it again. But I want
I will
him
watch
to-
out for him. I will have my pixies keep track.
I'm glad. I hope you continue to get better, and I'm sure you'll be around a lot longer than we will. But thank you.
Again, thank you for your help. I should feel better, hopefully, in the next few days. But so until then, I will have to have my pixies continue the charade of spirits and such. But it will die off.
We won't tell anyone. We'll say it was the season, and if they wait a week or two, perhaps, is that enough time?
Yes.
Or we cannot say anything to anyone.
It's up to you. I'm just telling you that the woods will remain haunted for a bit.
Very good. Well, perhaps they could come into the edges and do what they need.
Well, they could have done that before. That's me telling you that. Not,
Okay.
This is just when they get. Remember, you guys walked for about half an hour before
deep.
you really started seeing the spirits and stuff. All right.
Thanks again.
You
I'll
head
go back
out.
to the group.
Head out back to the group, and we're going to take a short break there. For like 15 minutes. And then we'll be back at it for a bit, as long as everybody still wants to play. So,
Sure, definitely.
there you go.